Democrats don't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. Listen here, this is a fact of life. I be rapping like Nat Turner came back to life. Grab Donald Trump by the pussy, he ain't acting right. I never run from a conflict, I be glad to fight. It's a very cold world that we live in. Somebody please tell Elizabeth you're not an Indian. You just trying to con them people to get the benefit. Just another immigrant, stealing from the Indians. That's some punk ass shit and that's too lame. Now we finna step over to Andrew Yang. And you a sucker, you could never speak for black folks. Fake ass pandering, trying to get the black votes. The Democrats don't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. You know your boy be high off sativa. Kamala wasn't popping, so we said bye, Felicia. She ain't had a right policy. We ain't trying to meet her. Y'all can take Biden too. Bye, we don't need him. We don't need Roland Martin or that coon Al Sharpton. Didn't need Cory Booker from the start, man. I don't fuck with police and no snitch. You know I'm coming with the heat when I spit it. The Democrats don't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. If you ever go to court and this is your luck, try not to get fucked by Benjamin Crump. I know it's hard. You and all go is hard. But who the fuck is Amy Cloak? Put her picture up on the bullseye and start throwing darts. People cut our organs out our bodies, that's a stolen heart. They can't save us from the flood like Noah's Ark. Black lives always matter, we finna go for ours. So then we savages, we don't need to pot the piss. Mike Bloomberg could suck dick with that stop and frisk. Bitch, you ain't speaking for us, we don't know you. Bernie Sanders, and get your funky ass on too. The Democrats don't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me, speak for me.
I'm talking about Checced going crazy. People going crazy in these motherfuckers. Run that shit back, man.
But it means nothing. Nothing. About a woman on the day. Man made the car. Carry the heavy load. Man made the electrolyte to take us out of the dark. Man made the boat for the water. Like the 7 no meter. Man thinks about a little bit of baby girl and a baby boy. Man makes them happy because man makes them strong. But after man make everything we can, do you know that man makes money? To buy from other men. This is a man's world.
I'm talking about Checced going crazy. People going crazy in these motherfuckers. Run that shit back, man.
But it means nothing. Nothing. About a woman on the day. Man thinks about a little bit of baby girl, and I'm baby boy. And man makes them happy, because man makes them joy. But after man make everything we can, do you know the man makes money? To buy from other men. This is a man's world. But
Greetings, Black family. Greetings, and thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Frontline Black News. I'm your host, Chan Krummer. So we're going to be solo dolo tonight. We'll see. I just send the link out, so hopefully people will be joining me. And on this season 5, oh, look at my hair. My sister did my hair. I don't even got my hair did. It's really nice. On this season 5, episode 13, part 3 of the Frontline Black News, we'll be discussing several topics. The first topic is that we didn't get to in part 2, as we started this morning because I had to postpone the show until this morning. So we left off with why do certain groups think that they are above getting checked? Then we got African immigrant admits some Africans say racist things about FBAs behind closed doors. Then we got OT Mexican tells blacks he can say the N-word and what y'all gonna do about it. The liosity of these damn Latinos. She said it out loud. Asian admits they chase whiteness and get loans to take over FBA communities. Then we got black man jailed for self-defense against white attackers. Fights back with lawsuit that happened here in Denver. And we got Lord Jamar reveals why he returned to VladTV. And R. Kelly is in serious danger after another attempt on his life. And last but certainly not least, we got our Unhoused neighbor news and our illegal migrant news. So those are the topics. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to Frontline Black News. Right into it. That's Tariq's Twitter space. Find it. Let's see. Right here.
The kind of people us without fear of accountability, related social position. And they also understand that the white supremacists will low-key reward these people for echoing a lot of anti-FBA sentiments where they can sit here and denigrate us, but we're not supposed to check them. And if we check them, we're divisive. See, they're so used to having these anti-FBA ideologies before they even come here. See, a lot of them, they get these negative notions about us, and then they come over here with that nonsense, and they feel like they're entitled to speak down at us, and we're saying no. And they also understand that the white supremacists will low-key reward these people for echoing a lot of anti-FBA sentiments. To the dominant society, they'll incentivize these tethers to basically distance themselves from us and align with those anti-Black narratives. So they run around here thinking that they are the model minority. So they think that that gives them a green light to critique us openly because they think they have an elevated social position.
Yeah.
And then they get a rude awakening when we start checking that ass. You see, they don't see us as a host culture to a certain degree. See, unlike a lot of these immigrants who show difference when they go to European or Asian countries, see, they don't see us, the foundational Black Americans here, as the host ethnic group in America, which we host their asses.
Right.
You see, so they feel like they're entitled to criticize us without fear of accountability. Now that we're giving accountability, they want to cry foul because they've been getting away with this horse shit, that Akata stuff and all of these negative tropes that Bushmeat have and others. He's not the only one. That's a part of his culture. Now that we are checking them extremely hard, they don't know what to do now. Now they want to cry foul. They thought that we wouldn't have no cultural gatekeeping power. And now we're flexing power on that ass. Because, see, we've been sitting up here sharing our culture, our music, our movements, just everything, and letting them stake a little claim to it. So they got the belief that they can just take from our culture while criticizing the people who created it. And we're saying, yo, those days are over. It's a whole new vibe now. This is what it is right now. And they don't like the new boundaries. You see, they don't like the new boundaries now. Now we done gate kept and we're drawing lines, and you're just not going to come over here and parasite off of us no more. The parasite days are over. And you're not going to use Pan-Africanism because they do this whole selective Pan-Africanism. They use that as a shield whenever we start calling them out. What did Bushmeat just do? Well, I'm Black too. We all Black. Yet we're all Black when it's convenient. And then they start attacking foundational Black Americans as a separate group. Just in the same breath. We all Black. And then the next sentence, y'all FBAs ain't shit. The Black American women is too fat. You see, then they'll delineate within mid-damn sentence when it's to their advantage. So we're saying we ain't doing this little schizophrenic, contradictory nonsense. Let's just keep the same energy all across the board. All right? Let's keep that same energy all across the board. We're going to delineate. You worry about your issues, we'll worry about ours. You see, a lot of times they mistake our foundational Black American hospitality for weakness. See, that's why you can't be too nice to damn people. See, we historically foundational Black Americans, we've been open to immigrants, and we still are, marching for their rights, allowing them into Black neighborhoods, helping them out, helping them navigate racism. So a lot of them, they perceive this grace as passivity. And now that we're saying, hey, we ain't playing that. No, you're trying to take advantage of us because now you're getting in elevated positions, flipping on us. We done sat here helping you out. Now, when you get jobs, all of a sudden, all of our people, foundational Black Americans, we end up fired because y'all done did some little janky shit and went and told these people something behind the scenes. And now there's a bunch of big foreheads working up in here. Now you got some non-FBA tether running for mayor, and he's Black while he's running. Then when he gets elected, he's an immigrant, and he's going to allocate all these resources for other immigrant groups. So we're tired of that game. That game is over. You're just not able to leech off of us. That's what divisiveness means. Divisive means, why can't we leech off you niggas anymore? Yeah, the leeching days are over. And trying to frame that as divisive, that's not going to shame us into letting you leech more. See, they've never been culturally or historically checked until now. Yeah? Nobody's held them accountable for that anti-Black, anti-FBA rhetoric. And nobody's never held them accountable. So this is really the first time they've been held accountable for that shit they've been doing for years. It's like a culture shock. Yeah. So it's a brand new day, ladies and gentlemen. That's the new norm, and that's what it is. Yeah. Let me get some folks in here. Y'all raise them hands. We do have a lot of people in the building. Let's get Sir Funk in the building. Sir Funk in the building. What's going on, Sir Funk? All right, Sir Funk ain't saying nothing. All right, let me get let's get Only in the building. Only. All right, Only, where you at? I can hear you, brother. What's going on?
Not much, man. I'm just calling. When I hear that guy come up and speak, what I find funny, because I was listening yesterday, when they come in, they always they talk about this whole divisiveness, but they never speak about it from the other side, because it is on the other side. I've been on TikTok and I've been in rooms with several different people from the Caribbean and several different African countries. And they say some of the most foul, most disgusting things. I've spoken to them, and I've never went to that level. I don't get into pigsty. I don't need to call names, because I can just speak to the facts and speak to the truth. But they never speak at it from that side. And he's talking about everybody needs to focus on themselves, but he comes up all the time, and his whole focus is focused on us. But he don't focus on his own people if we're doing this whole separation of thing. And the whole thing of, conveniently always claiming blackness when it's something that they can join in to speak and have a voice. Either they degrade it or they speak in to come in and have a voice to speak negatively about this blackness thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's never anything positive. And they always want to make it seem like it's something that you created or you've done. But even when Clubhouse first started, there was my homies that put me onto it. And there was West African rooms that was going on. And when I came in there and I heard some of the things that was said, I was really like, this is some of the most disgusting things I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, yeah.
That's really where it came from, because I wasn't raised like that. Most of us weren't raised to look at other black people and be like, we're going to stay away from you type of thing. It's a disingenuous conversation, and they act obtuse to a lot of things. Like, they don't see it come from the other side in abundance, and they're not raised with that. A lot of them I'm going to be quiet after this. I got a homie, he's from Jamaica. He's from Westmoreland. His wife is from Kingston. And when he first met me, he had a lot of preconceived notions about who I was and who we were as a people. And I had to disabuse him of those concepts and things before we could have a real conversation. And that's one of my homies to this day. But he had a lot of things that he already believed without even really knowing and being around us like that, because he was really around his own community, to be honest. But once we got past that, I had to get past that whole wall they have of just automatically assuming they know who we are based on media or what they see in books or whatever it is. McGraw-Hill does not teach the true history of who we are. Just doesn't do it.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's all I got to say, man. Appreciate you for letting me speak.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, brother. Let's get Rick Star. Yo, Rick, are you in here, sir? Rick Star, are you in the building? If you are in the building, Rick, let's unmute that mic. I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Then I'm going to take you out of here. And then we'll get some other folks down here. We'll get Meadows. But hold on. Before I do that, let's get this dude TMM. This guy was on last night. Oh, this guy was on last night. I think it was last night. This is the suspected tether. TMM, hop on in here. The dude with all that loud noise.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Hello?
Man,
Do Tyler Perry, do his company go to the Jewish CEO that own it when they take him down? Who gonna get his company after they take him down? Is it the Jews, like the NAACP, like Puff Daddy company, like Death Row? Is it the Jews that's going?
Okay, yeah, this nigga's trolling. Okay, you can't even get your trolling out. And nigga, where do you work, dude, with all that damn noise? Do you work graveyard shift at SeaWorld? Nigga, you wash dolphins? What do you do? What are you doing over there? Okay, he just trolling. Okay, he's up here giggling. This nigga's trying to get his trolling out, up here snickering. If Tyler Perry, if Snoop Dogg and Puffy them win the Jews, I'm here giggling like a biatch. You can't even get it out. I ain't about to sit up here and talk to no ticklish nigga. Nigga, you ticklish. Do you hear this bitch nigga up here snickering in between his trolling? I ain't about to talk to no snickering bitch nigga. Hell out of here. Nigga, go back to washing whales. That nigga work at SeaWorld. That nigga work the graveyard shift. That nigga's putting on scuba gear. That nigga got to go underwater to clean up whale feces. That's why he got on that Pooh Shiesty mask. That's scuba gear that nigga got on. He's trying to act like a thug. No, nigga, you a scuba diver at SeaWorld with your bitch ass. This nigga trained SEALs. Trying to sound like a G. You ain't no G. So all them weird noises in the back. You hear water, you hear grunting. You know, those are sea lions in the back, nigga. Okay. Anyway, let me see who else we got. Shout out to everybody in here. We're in here heavy. What's up, Rashonda, the lovely Rashonda? Brother Marcel in the building. I've been seeing folks debate some of these Democrat shills. Family, y'all got to watch out for these Democrat shills. Y'all better know how to handle them. Y'all, listen, when you deal with some of these Democrat shills that call in and come into our spaces, understand their agenda. And family, you got to know how to deal with them so that you don't let them dictate their bad faith conversations. Right now, we got a lot of momentum going based on lineage and a lot of the political sphere and the alphabet agencies. They are really, really watching us heavy, watching our lineage, looking at the influence, looking at the codification. The Democrats understand how much trouble they are in because we're on code and we're demanding tangibles and resources based on lineage. So they have to come in and try to sow confusion. So you watch out for their tether plebiscite babblers that they send to us, who come in these spaces, trying to be antagonistic, basically doing a lot of time wasting. Understand when these people are coming in with bad faith arguments. When somebody's coming in with a bad faith argument, you got to deal with that a certain way. You can't let them come in and start dictating the terms. For example, if one of these Democrat shills come in talking about, well, I want to discuss how the FBAs is like MAGA. Okay, that's already a bad faith argument. They frame the conversation in a bad faith. So you have to define the terms immediately. You got to immediately correct their bad faith arguments. All right, that's number one. When they come in with these bad faith talking points from the DNC, these are talking points they're getting from the DNC, ladies and gentlemen, because I hear them all the time. I already know what their talking points are. You start off, you make a clear distinction when we start talking about foundational Black Americans, what it is, and we're talking about lineage-based identity. That's it. Because what they'll try to do is get into semantics to dilute and derail the conversation. You have to preemptively define the terms. Don't let them do tether and I say so. No. When they start making these questionable arguments about our lineage, have them tell you where they're from. Now, what these tethers are going to do, they're going to lie. They're going to do a lot of lying because they're sending these non-FBA tethers our way. So we have to understand They have no problem lying and shilling and all of that stuff. All right. Most of the time, these people are from non-FBA lineages, so it's nothing for them to come around us lying. Also, you have to establish shill spotting patterns. You got to educate yourself on the common shill phrases. When they start talking about foundational Black Americans, the minute they start talking about a group, a cult, y'all Black MAGA, y'all Trump, when they start talking about our lineage in those terms, you are 100% dealing with a Democrat shill. Those are Democrat shill talking points. So you don't even dignify no stupid shit like that. Those are just scripts they're reading. Those are time-wasting scripts so that they can just come in and plant their seeds of bullshit. When they start talking about all of that, FBA is MAGA and FBA is far right, just point out, look, there's 43 million foundational Black Americans. Many of them voted Democrat. Many of them voted Democrat. And let's be very clear. Don't let these tethers fool you. They'll try to play the whole BLM movement, how the white supremacists would sit here and criticize Black society by pretending they're talking about BLM. Well, BLM, boy, they're a bunch of monkeys. What do you mean? I'm talking about the group BLM. No, because the group BLM is basically 3 women, so you ain't talking about them. That's the technical group of what Black Lives Matter was. Remember, they were calling everybody Black Lives Matter. Everybody was Black Lives Matter, according to the white supremacists. But they'll try to say and pretend that they're talking about a certain group. They'll do the same thing with us. When they say, oh, these FBA niggas are divisive. Listen, they're talking about all 43 million. Those FBA niggas are dumb and stupid. I'm just talking about the group. No, they're talking about all 43 million. You understand? They're talking about all of us. Don't let them fool you. Because number one, there is no group. There ain't no damn group. There is no organization. There is no cult. The only thing that's foundational Black Americans are 43 million plus people who are descendants of freedmen. That's the only thing. So that's the only thing you could be talking about. And that's what they're talking about, because that's who they talk about behind closed doors. Behind closed doors, we're all types of Attaccers. And they're talking about all of us. They ain't talking about no certain group. All of us are Attaccers to some of these folks. You see? So we got to be very strategic when we're dealing with these bad faith Democrat shills. And remember, when you're dealing with them, talking with them, your priority is you're speaking to the audience, not the shill himself. Remember, you're not trying to convert the shill. The shill has an agenda. What you're doing is educating the room. So your rebuttals are framed so that the audience learns something. You know, because they're never going to concede. Their job is to just talk in circles indefinitely. They're not going to say that you're beating them. Your job is to educate the audience. So when I get Bushmeat Barrister up, see, I bring him up. I'm not trying to flip him and get him to see our position. No, he's a shill. Bushmeat Barrister is a clown. But the thing is, I want you to hear these talking points so that you, the audience, you can know how to debunk them when you run into one of these tethers and shills in real life. I want you to know how to debunk these people. I'm just giving you the ammo on how to debunk that nonsense. Let me get my good brother, Randy Short, up in the building. The legendary Dr. Randy Short. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm blessed, man. You keep telling folks the truth here.
Sure.
It's been a long time coming for people to be able to say who we are and what we mean.
Yes.
And, my mentor, Dr. Yusef Klein, who was a Gullah Geechee, who was in charge of Malcolm X's Organization of African American Unity in Canada, his comment to me, the greatest thing that you can do to a people to harm them is to destroy their identity. Okay, which means the most significant thing that the people can do is to take control of our ability to define who we are.
Yes.
Okay, this is why what you're doing is so important, and that's why you're getting so much flack. And trust me, this has been a fight for hundreds of years. The foundational Black Americans have been trying to define themselves, whether it's Cornish and Rustworm with the first Black newspaper, is to give a definition of who we are on our terms.
Yes.
And that's before all these people came over here. This has been because the whole purpose of what they wanted to do was zero people out mentally and just have drudges that they would work into extinction and laugh all the way to the bank. And so there's always been a struggle, which is why we have the most advanced movement, is because it's been heavily a struggle in the mind. The folks in Africa, I'm not picking, but I've had to say to someone, how in the hell are you over here working as a butler and you own 100 acres of land? Dude, I mean, and that's why I cussed a friend of mine from Tanzania out. And I'm going to cuss a friend from Malawi out who's calling me for money and shit. And you got 45 hectares and you bucking me for money? Why don't you farm it? So, the struggle for the mind is we've had to fight more than anybody else for psychological space. And that's where we're ahead of everybody else. A lot of folks start catching on. I think I send you stuff now and then. Jess, I know you're busy, but so you're right. This delineation is the most radical thing that you can do, is figure out who the hell you are.
Yeah.
Why you and you don't have to apologize, explain anything to anyone. So there's a whole concept of ethnogenesis, which you're familiar with. People exist the minute that they say so. And that's why there's so much hostility to this term FBA. We're standing 10 toes down saying we are who we are. Damn it, we don't care what anybody says. And no, anybody, a Black Chihuahua from Mexico is not a Black American. A Black extraterrestrial from outer space isn't a foundational Black American. You don't got any roots here. You don't have any roots here, right? And everyone is jealous. They want our crown, but they don't want to carry our cross, nor will they help us carry the cross that we carry. That's another reason to delineate. If a person wants your candy, but they don't want your tears, you don't need them.
Right.
And so we've been lied to by our elders and everyone else that we have to be in a coalition, that we got to have all these other people. And I was just talking to one of the Freedman sisters, explaining to her that the Pan-Africanists, in fact, there's a woman, I'm going to have to send you some stuff on her, one of these FBA people, her name is Jewel Mazik, one of the mothers of modern African nationalism, was a Black Indian from Georgia named Jewel Mazik, who I knew, who was Malcolm X's mentor, right? That came from here and went there. It didn't come from the Pan-Africanists, and other people say that we get everything from Africa and the Caribbean. Really? Garvey came here to learn from Booker T. Washington. And Nkrumah came here. Patrice Lumumba was educated by Black folks from Alabama. They don't teach you that. Almost every you show me somebody from somewhere else with their identity that's helped lift us up here. You won't find it. I'm not mad at anyone. I'm just saying, who starts the civil rights movement? Really, the modern civil rights movement in Brazil? It's Catherine Denham from East St. Louis, Illinois. That's all over the world because of our ability to know who and what we are under the worst, most oppressive media and psychological manipulation, sexual abuse, pedophilia. They've given it all to us in spades, and they've never completely broken us as a collective. and it drives them mad. Now they got their kids all dropping dead on drugs, all these drugs that were brought over here to break our back and fund the CIA's black budget, or it should be called white budget for white people. All of that's been done to us for 80 years, and we're still not undone by them. Go some other places. You want to see some bombed out? Look at some black folks in Australia. Go to some other places and see that these people almost completely wiped out, and they can be the majority. We've been an absolute minority on a certain level and still got some nerve, verve, style, all of that. And these people come here, and I'll just tell you, you know who has some of the highest divorce rates in America? Attaccers. They get here and their families fall apart faster than ours, with jobs, with your African culture, history, and language, and your family still falls apart. Almost all of that's been stripped away from us, and we still manage to hang on with no help from nowhere. And that's because it's something unique and special to us. Everybody's got something. We've got the je ne sais quoi of the entire black world, whether anybody likes it or not.
Yes.
And you know what? Nobody has a right to what we have. Okay, I know what it's like to feed people. You know, I was thinking, because I think remember we put that Cosby kid picture up, that nasty tranny from Sudan that was making these statements about black people, and I had to address them. I noticed they haven't been back online. I haven't seen them since I read that punk. But let me just say this to you. I used to take care of, and this is why I don't care what anyone says. I've worked and served African, Caribbean, and Latin. I've done that for decades. So I don't hate nobody. And one of the things I found was it was always a dismissiveness of Black American people. Whenever it came down to our needs or something for us, there was never any interest. And the kind of stuff like that person said, the colorism of Black Americans, this ugly South Sudanese person with a hairline that started behind their ears. Mm-hmm. I used to feed out of my own pocket 6 people from South Sudan, lost boys. And there was prejudice against me over my color. And I'm feeding their black asses. Keeping you from being homeless, you had this hatred on a certain level. And the person says, you know what, the reason we don't completely like you is we're not used to people your color being nice to us. So they brought their tribal their tribal delineation they bring here and implement it against us, right? And we need to stop carrying it. So, as I said, my thing is just say go. I'm so happy. They need to deport everybody. I'm waiting because, our crazy president, they're about to start kicking out all the folks from Africa. Not that I want people kicked out per se. We want the good ones. But the little nasty ones that do all this kind of stuff, like the one that was poisoning my mother, and I had to let her know, I got friends with Holman. I can get your whole agency. I could deport all of you. Now all they do is run around and cry to my mother. I never want to have to talk to another person who's Black like that. These folks kill us in hospitals and everything else. They mess over us in schools. I've experienced it. They do all kinds of stuff, get you fired on jobs. And use, they all need to go back and they need to save their countries. In fact, they need to get the white man's boot up their ass so they can understand us better. Because I joke about white Jesus all the time for fun. But if you want to see a place, you've been to Africa, when you see going to a church in Africa, Jesus is going to be white. Yeah. No matter what. I mean, these people can be as black as a piece of coal and are more white-minded than Hakeem Jeffries at one of those freak-offs with the Latinos with Diddy. And I'm talking about these people, I'm serious, you go all over Africa, you notice there are no bookstores? The Black American, one of the things that he needs to understand, a foundational Black American, There are more books, more information, more scholarship, more research done by and about us than any other group of people that look like we do in the world. And they know it. Like that book I told you, that little no good person, the un-African Americans, where these people have declared intellectual war and they're blaming Black Americans for the colonization of Africa. Can you believe this? It's because they want to link arms with the very people that destroyed their countries that caused them to come here. And the best way to earn their bones is to not see us. And there's some things I'm going to say real fast. First and foremost, every Dominican, there's a place called Samaná in the Dominican Republic. Almost all Dominicans are related to Black Americans. Almost all Jamaicans are related to Black Americans because of the people taken out during the American Revolution. All of them are related to us, but because people are so tribal, they're less interested in looking at what we share than to emphasize their difference. My British education or my broke down parliament, my flag that I wave, right? And yet you don't want to go back to where that flag is the national, that's the national banner. We need to understand that people don't change, but we have to change ourselves. And Brother Tariq, you keep doing what you're doing. Keep and clown them, expose them. In fact, you need to do an FBA movie. I mean, you've done everything else. It's time to have a delineation movie to explain why we're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because
thank you, bro. Let me go ahead and land the plane, Dr. Short, because I'm going to get some other folks in here before it gets too late. But thank you so much, Dr. Short. That was Dr.
How you doing, Tariq?
Get too late. Now, Web.
Yes, sir.
What's up, Web?
What's up? I was piggybacking off of Dr. Short and the whole immigrant crisis. I was about to ask you if you saw what was going on in Florida with the CDL scandal.
Oh yeah, a bunch of immigrants was up there getting them fake trucking licenses.
Yeah.
Oh goodness, dude! What? Every goddamn thing is a scam, dude. They be having these big old institutional scams. It's like, yeah, I heard about that. It's gonna be a nursing scam, a CDL scam, a diploma scam. And then these folks come over here and talk about how hard they whack, and man, these are some of the scammiest folks ever. And we ain't supposed to say nothing. But they're supposed to come over here and wag their finger at us, and we ain't supposed to say nothing about all them damn scams they got going. Sports, hop on sports.
What's going on, Mr. Nasheed? How you doing today?
I'm good. Sports, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for all of your teachings and shit that you spread across the nation and across the lands and the ocean. You got people from all over listening. But
Yes.
I got two things I want to cover. The first thing is, I think I was talking to some family members today, and they was trying to blame Trump for what's going on in Israel and all of that. I think one thing our people need to start realizing is stop blaming Trump for what's going on in those wars.
Yeah.
I think that we are way too intelligent to keep doing that. Anybody that would even try to get in front of what's happening right now will get assassinated and get taken out. When you're talking about wars of this magnitude, it's not one man that can stop it. And I think that's come from a lot of our own ignorance and not wanting to, and calling people like you and other people conspiracy theorists to try to teach us what the really is going on.
Right.
And the second thing I want to talk about is what's going. I don't know if you caught, because I was leaving my investment property earlier, but what's going on with Tyler Perry? Have you covered that already?
Yeah, I did. I talked about that earlier. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I missed it, but that's all, man. I'm going. Thank you for calling me up.
Thank you.
Microphone check. 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 Microphone.
Yep. So you're not above getting checked, Tethers. And we're gonna keep checking you every chance we get, especially for your anti-black and anti-FBA sentiments and behaviors. Them days are over, and we're gonna go right into it with African immigrant admits some Africans say racist things about FBAs behind closed doors. Why are we not surprised? Uncle Phil, what's an update on this?
We got this African brother that's discussing, you know, other immigrants in general are discussing some of the and how they've been feeling about us as FBAs. And you remember when, you know, the other African brother was discussing how the Latinos try to sabotage FBAs on the job. Now, this particular African brother going to be talking about, you know, some of the things and the disdain that has come, unfortunately, from the diaspora. Let's go ahead and check this out.
I made a video a couple of days ago talking about the two most racist things I heard in high school when I first moved here. But I just want to say there's nothing more racist than Africans towards African Americans. First of all, Africans think they are like better in a lot of ways. It's not me. I just know some Africans, some like pure Africans that were born there and spent so many years in Africa. And the stuff that he's saying behind African Americans are crazy. Making fun of their culture, making fun of the way they dress. I don't even think I can say some of the things.
A lot of FBAs will say, yeah, we kind of knew, you know, some of that. We've heard it online, and this is what really sparked delineation, is because you can't really join with people, even though they may be a distant cousin. You can't join with people that really don't want to join with you. Now, while I was in Ethiopia, and in Ethiopia, you know, shout out to the Ethiopians. You know, every time I go over there, man, it's nothing but love. They welcome me in, all of that, right? So I remember, you know, me and YALL was having this discussion about, you know, delineation, because she was really wanting to know more about delineation and, you know, what really, you know, got it sparked, and because she really didn't understand it. And the one thing I told YALL at the time was, I said, listen, if everybody was like the, you know, the Ethiopians that I've met the first time, or even the Ethiopians I've met now, this wouldn't be a conversation. I say what it is that people, you know, get out of the culture they come from, and they bring some culture. I don't know what they bring with them. I say, because I've been to other African countries outside of Ethiopia, and it's been the same thing. I can honestly say it. They've been nice. They've been cool, cordial. I haven't got nothing bad from them or nothing like that. Now, do some people have some experiences? Yeah, they do. But then when I listen to the full story of how people have some bad experiences, I'm like, bro, you wouldn't have did that in America. Why you get over there doing that? I'm like, I don't get that, right? But when the people come over here, and it's just not some, not all, because a lot of cool brothers and sisters that's here and immigrated here. I met plenty of you. I rock with you, okay? So I'll make sure I say that up front. But there are some that do come over here that, like he said, feel they're better. And then, but when you really tell them about, okay, what makes you better? What makes you better? How is your culture better? Because all thing you have to really tell them, I say, well, you didn't really stand on business in your culture, bro. I say, because you left it. You left everything of where your culture originates to come over here. I guess that culture didn't work too well for you over there, right? If you're so much better, you would show me how better you are in your own homeland. It's like all these other groups. They come over here and they think they're better than FBAs. They think they're better. What if we pulled that and say, you know what?
Sorry, y'all. The damn computer crashed. I'm back. What's up, Uncle Phil? Share
this African brother that's listened to the full story of how people have some bad experiences. I'm like, bro, you wouldn't have did that in America. Why you get over there doing that? I'm like, you are in your own homeland. It's like all these other groups. They come over here and they think they're better than FBAs. They think they're better. What if we pulled that and say, you know what? We better because we can't get deported. What if we say that? What if we say as FBAs, well, you know, when we make more money, we are the richest black group in the world. And the rest of y'all with whole countries don't even match our GDP as black Americans. We don't say that. We don't even try to stunt like that. We can stunt on our culture. We can stunt on our innovation. We can stunt on so much, and we don't even do that. Like I always tell people, don't get in a pissing contest that you ain't gonna win. And then, but what you are starting to see, that something's starting to happen. Even this conversation is starting to come up. All the other groups now are starting to really admit about their anti-black racism, tribalism, and things like that. They're admitting it, and they're having to come to grips with it. Why? Why are they having to come to grips with it now? Why they've been doing it? Why now? Because when FBAs delineated and FBAs said, "Hey, bro, you do you, I'm gonna do me, and we're gonna do us over here." When FBAs delineated, that sent a shockwave across America because America did not see that coming. They thought we will always be there to protest. We always be there to be the human shield. We always would be there to be the tool of propaganda, like the most hated people in the world, broadcast the images of FBAs. And all these protests that has been happening ever since Donald Trump has been in office. We have not been a part of any of these protests. And now the light is looked at all these other groups. Now the other groups are dealing with the issues and problems. Now they're dealing with ICE. And now they're trying to say, what do we need to do to get FBAs back out here? We'll try shaming them. That don't work. Maybe we'll try kissing their butt. Angelina Castro. We'll try that. So let's go ahead and admit ours. Maybe because we admitting it, they're acknowledging it. Let's go fight it. Yeah, we all made, and I don't understand. And they wait for you to be like, oh, that's all I wanted. I just wanted you to admit it. No. We don't need you to admit nothing. We already know. We had the experiences with you, bro. We don't need you to admit anything. It's just that simple. What all of you need to do, I know y'all having a lot of confessions about FBAs right now. You need to fix it. That's it. And one way you could fix it. I'm telling all of you immigrants, so maybe you first generation, there's one way you can fix it because you can vote and you can advocate. Advocate for reparations in the form of cash payments. I promise you, if you want FBAs back on your side, if you want FBAs to come protest and do anything else for you, especially in California, Latinos, especially y'all. If y'all would advocate for FBAs and y'all push and help reparations get passed, then you could really say, hey, FBAs, we helped y'all get reparations, so come help us. And at that moment, we were like, yeah, the Latinos did help us get reparations. Let's go help the Latinos. That's the way that's going to work. If you can't use Vicente Guerrero, the only black president of Mexico that y'all killed, right? You can't use him as we did something for black folks. We all killed him. The slaves coming into Mexico because he wanted to set Mexico right and get off of that old racist conquistador mentality. And they took Vicente Guerrero's life. So stop trying to use Vicente Guerrero. But if you want to do something in modern time, push the Democrats to do reparations in California, get it passed, the Latinos be behind it, push it, and then you'll get some help. Other than that, y'all can admit all your faults. You can admit your biases. You can admit it all. Okay, great, fine. But now you got to put some skin in the game because we've done enough. We've done enough. We got the civil rights bill done. We got the immigration bill done. That's the reason why all of you have been allowed to come here. Now, some of you may hear this message and you be like, well, you know, I don't understand, Phil. Like, you know, I know you like going to Africa. I do. I enjoy myself. Oh, my God, I enjoy myself. I don't even want to come back. But it's kind of like my children. I love my children, love them to death. But you think I won't get on to my children? You think I won't correct them? You think I won't go in on my children when they're wrong? Or when my children are wrong, I'm supposed to sit there and just like, because I care about them, I'm supposed to say nothing to them. No. If family or distant family is wrong, I'm going to call you out. Maybe not with the venom as I would call out the folks, because I'm not as vicious as I am with the folks. I don't do that. But I am going to get you straight. I'm going to handle you a little bit more softer, even though I seem like I'm being harsh, I'm still handling you much softer than I would handle the folks. You understand? Because at the end of the day, the folks is the problem. The folks is the center of everybody's problem. The folks is Africans' problem. The folks is Caribbean people problem. The folks is Arabs' problem, and the Asians and the Latinos, and when everybody finally see the central focus of all the problems that we deal with throughout the world, the folks' hand is in it. Until everybody realize that crap, that's when you're gonna stop fighting against FBAs for sure and each other, and realize we all got a common issue, and it's the folks. And unfortunately, a lot of you immigrate here and you try to get on their side. Now they want you out of here. They want to deport you behind. So all them little, and it's a thing. It's kind of like Felicia. I'm gonna remember that when people have said things to us, we remembered it, and that's why I say, hey, you on your own, bro. Do you? Oh, we all black. Well, we all black now, but before we wanted to all be black, you didn't want to join. You understand? We can't be all black when it benefits you. We got to be all black when it benefits both of us. Let's be all black about these reparations. Let's be all black about this anti-black hate crime bill, which would benefit you too. The anti-black hate crime bill would definitely benefit black immigrants. You sure would benefit you. No, reparations wouldn't, but hey, it would benefit you because, you know, hey, brothers and sisters like to, you know, we go to the Jamaican spot and we'll go to the Ghanaian spot and the Nigerian places, and we'll go to the Afrobeat spot and spend money and anything else y'all got going on. We break bread with Africans and Caribbeans all day long. So we get this reparations money, we're going to still break bread with you. Everybody would benefit from reparations, even the folks. It would be a great injection into the American economy if we get reparations, or when. Let me say when we get reparations, but we can't be, oh, I support reparations, they need to get it. No. You need to put in the work, and then we get the reparations. And then once we get the reparations, then we reciprocate and say, hey, whatever you need, we got you. Because we've done that too many times. We've had people, you know, hey, I'm an ally with y'all, and we're gonna do this and do that. And we go out there like, all right, man, let's go fight for them. And then when y'all get what y'all get, y'all forget about us. So now that's the rule. We can't ally with nobody if we ain't got our reparations. If you're not advocating for reparations, you're not fighting for, you're not voting for reparations. Yeah, we can't do that. There's a debt owed for you to get reparations in the form of cash payments. And we don't need to hear y'all discussing about what reparations should look like. No, you should say, hey, it's cash. FBA say it's cash, it's cash. That's what it is. I'm voting on it. If you're on the Reparations Council, only you need to say is, hey, I don't care what it is yes. Yes, on the cash we need to do. And then FBA, okay, that's my Caribbean brother right there. That's my African brother right there. Make sure the Africans are good. We're going to make sure the Caribbean is good. That's how we get them. FBAs have been going through it. And people get tired, even in a relationship with a man or a woman. You keep doing for that woman, doing for that woman, doing for that woman. She never do nothing back. Eventually you'll get tired and you'll leave that woman. Same thing with a woman to a man. You doing this for this man and he never do nothing for you. He never freaking. Eventually you'll get tired of that man. Relationship about give and take. It's not about take for one person. And FBAs have been in a position where we've been taken away from. You understand? So, brother, I appreciate you. I really do what you're saying, but we kind of passed that because we delineated already. So I know everybody's confessing, but now if y'all want to get our help on some issues, especially the situation with ICE and all of that, hey, advocate for reparation in the form of cash payments, make it happen. And I think y'all be in a good grace of FBAs once that happens.
A black man jailed for murder after defending himself is now suing.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So they don't get checked. And we're going to continue to check them, like I said. They're calling us Attaccers and Jamars behind our back. We're not going for it no more. FBA is not going for that shit no more. DMG's in the building. Salute. 7's up. So we'll move to the next topic. Speaking of these OTBs, this Mexican rapper by the name of OT Mexican tells Blacc she can say the N-word, and what y'all gonna do about it? So shout out to Brett Supreme. He's gonna give us an update on this madness. Fair use on the Copyright Act. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allows to make fair use purposes of criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Let's go.
Or you lying? Yeah.
No, it wasn't me.
So, the student orange is OT Mexican. He was on this ratchet ass podcast called Lip Service. All these sisters, I think all FBA sisters, I could be wrong. Might be a few tellers sprinkled in. But anyway, they're interviewing this Latino and they asked him some questions and the N-word came up and he had a response for that. So that's what I'm looking for. But I'll probably play about 20 minutes of this madness.
It wasn't me. And that's some guys think that's love though. If I try to hide it from you,
No. I mean, no.
That's
You and black women, y'all gotta do better, man.
He know he can talk to a bunch of wig wearing, weave wearing black women and say this stupid shit and get away with it. He know damn well he couldn't go
going on OT
to a podcast full of black men that was standing on business and say this bullshit like this. He went to speak to a bunch of ratchet black women with weave who are not conscious, who are lost in the sauce, and that's why he decided to have this podcast with these lost black women with these lace front wigs and weave, who has no sense of identity and culture. They are lost themselves. He would have never said this bullshit on a podcast full of FBA men who stood on business. He would have been canceled immediately, fucking with FBA men on a podcast talking stupid like this, talking about what you gonna do, but you're using our culture to make money. Why don't you make mariachi music or corridos to make money? Because you know nobody wants to listen to that shit. Foundational black American men who stand on business would have canceled this fool instantly. That's why he went to speak to these wig wearing. This is why he went to speak to these wig wearing hood rats, because he knew they wasn't gonna stand on business. Yeah, that is a fact.
Because I love you, baby. Because I love you.
Hell no, because I don't. I do, but I don't. I don't lie.
Some people think that when you can't get that's really the love. When you
right, he wants to use the N word because he thinks it sounds cool. Mexicans want to wear grills and talk with a black accent and speak in a black swagger in a black vernacular because they believe it sounds cool. How you gonna call yourself OT Mexican, but you're using black culture to sound cool? Nothing about OT Mexican is Mexican. He don't talk like a Mexican. He don't rap like a Mexican. His swagger ain't Mexican. You need to change your name to OT Black, because nothing about your swagger is Mexican. Right. Hell nah, fool.
Yeah. All right, I want to ask the ladies here. Have y'all ever smelled somebody's dick because you thought they was cheating?
No.
That's some serious
If I have to
shit.
do all that,
you know
I'm
he's
leaving.
cheating, yeah.
Yeah.
If you gotta lift the dick and smell wounds, he's cheating. You already know he was cheating when you did that.
Yeah.
And that's what I be saying. You know, expect the apple to be an apple. Expect
And
the apple.
Mexicans don't say what makes Mexicans think it's cool for them to disrespect us while using our culture to make money. Middle finger to y'all. Fuck you. Right. Ain't nobody hating on you. You can't use our culture, style, and swagger to make money, but disrespect us at the same time and think we ain't gonna say nothing about it. Man, you crazy.
To be a draft.
Right.
Expect the hoe to be a hoe.
Hey ho.
Hello. So, but because look, you talk about that in the song, and we do know that's the thing. Like women will smell, they will look for hairs. I think. So, have you ever had somebody for real like?
Yeah, I was
like,
just gonna say, ain't no bitch smelling my dick. I seen it on the movie.
oh, you saw it? Yeah, that's some movie shit.
Yeah.
That's what it's giving. Because the
That's
bitch
not-
really smelling dick. Really?
Yeah. I just
No,
get-
there are women who are like that.
Yeah. For real.
Yeah. And my daddy ain't shit. You know, one time he told me, he said he'd be on the way home, he'd go be pumping gas and he'd pour gas on his hands and rub it around and shit like that, you know.
Crying. Oh my god.
Not covering his tracks.
What's that? What's
Hey,
that?
I
That's
remember-
what smell too.
I
That's
remember-
gonna cover up anything.
I remember one time my daddy picked me up for school. He picked me up and he picked me up from my stepmom's house, and I lived in a cul-de-sac, so it's a long road, and then there's like 4 cul-de-sacs, and I lived in the second cul-de-sac.
Now, Mexicans from Texas gonna say, well, this is how we talk. Yeah, because you took on a black swagger. You took on a black vernacular. Mexicans don't talk like this.
Right.
The only time Mexicans talk like this is when they're influenced by black culture 100%.
Yeah.
His swagger, his delivery, the way that he raps, the way that he talks, nothing about OT Mexican represents Mexican culture. He represents black culture 100%. Those are just the facts. Nothing about this dude says Mexican culture. Everything about him represents black culture. But he feels like, well, since I grew up with blacks, I can say the N-word. And if you got a problem with it, what are you going to do about it? Man, please.
So we're right here, and we're coming out, we're taking his left to get on the road, and he stops at the first cul-de-sac. What the fuck is he doing? And I see a girl running naked with a towel wrapped around her. She jumped in.
He is a culture vulture 100%. OT Mexican is a culture vulture because nothing about him says Mexican. The way that he rap, the way that he talk says foundational black American. nothing about this dude says Mexican. He's a culture vulture 100%. Then got the nerve to say, if I say nigga, what are you gonna do about it? Man, come on, homie. This fool need to be canceled instantly. You ain't gonna disrespect foundational Black Americans while making money off of our culture. Hell no, we ain't gonna stand for that.
Right.
Hey, Virgil. Take me to school. Like my daddy was wild, you know. I remember I was a kid and this girl was like, "You gonna have a girlfriend?" I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna have two like my daddy."
Oh my God.
You know?
But you don't think that now.
What?
Don't make him lie. Don't make him lie. Don't turn him into a liar, yeah.
He said what? That's like, if you say what, you heard me.
Yeah, you can hear.
I'm really good at.
See, he's saying OT Mexican because he wanna make a lane for Mexicans to cosplay and FBA culture so that they can make money off of hip hop. You call yourself OT Mexican, but nothing about your swagger or style says Mexican. And he's from Texas. This is a Texas Mexican.
Let's see how.
Nothing about his swagger, the way that he talk, the way that he rap, nothing about him says Mexican at all. You need to change your name to OTL Blacc, not OT Mexican, because the swagger and style you took on don't come from Mexican culture. It comes from FBA culture 100%. You live in fantasies. I reject your deposit. Now bring your ass up out of the closet, fool. Foundational Black Americans, stand up and start checking these fools for all this damn disrespect.
Promise you.
I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
You think that?
And I like loving. Like I'm.
Make sure that you guys get the likes up. Make sure that you hit that like button. It ain't nothing. Subscribe to the channel. Get the subscribers up. Subscribe to the channel. If you want to leave a comment, you better subscribe to the channel. That is it. Yes, we going in on this topic. OTF Mexican, nothing about your style, nothing about your lingo, nothing about your swagger represents Mexican culture. Everything about you represents FBA. It ain't Mexican, fool. Mexicans never talk with that type of slang. They never talk with that swagger. You got it from foundational Black Americans. I suggest you pay homage.
Because like I suck at loving. You know what I'm saying? But figuring it out.
You think you're good in bed?
I don't know.
Have you been told? Like, you know, I think people could tell.
Yeah.
No shade. I think people could tell too when they're good. Like you could tell. You can.
Look at this hood rat playing in her weave. I think you can tell this looking stupid and a walking stereotype playing in that damn wig, talking about how niggas then damn dick you down in the damn bed.
Good. Like you can tell. You can hear it. You can feel it.
Is she squirting? You know somebody's squirting. Or you know she's
you're taking it there.
Yeah. You think you're good in bed?
Oh, really?
See, these women are sick in the head and they fiend for dick in the bed. These women are sick in the head and they fiend for dick in the bed. That's why they can't go without it. Even when they claim they want a husband, but they've been ran through by multiple niggas who had no plans on wiping them up, just piping them down. These women are sick in the head. That's why they receive multiple dicks in the bed. Those are the facts. Realer than rap, no cap, Red Supreme. Talking to these hood rats who ain't gonna stand on business for Black culture.
They doing shit.
You let the girls take it there for him.
You just lay there?
I really don't even have time to be fucking. I just want some fucking head.
Wow.
So
But
you
again, I'm selfish.
Are you reciprocating?
Yeah, he's giving head.
Am I giving? Yeah, I mean, shit, I'm nasty. I like doing everything.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's crazy. So you rather get head than have sex?
I mean, yeah, like I like having sex and get fucked up, but like
He ain't got time. Give me some head.
You have time for that then. If you have time to get your dick sucked, you have time to have sex, I think.
no, I think you.
These hood rats are just terrible for Black culture. I'm being real with you. These wig wearing hood rats are terrible for Black culture because they don't stand on business. They're saying the dumbest shit that you can imagine. There's no way that OT Mexican could have said this on a podcast full of FBA men who stand on business. He would have got checked immediately for disrespecting Black men, talking about, well, what you gonna do about it? Nigga, you can get the fuck up out of our culture. That's what we gonna do about it. You can go over there and make some mariachi music. You can go over there and make some corridos music and stay the hell up out of Black culture. That's what you can do. think you can use the N-word because, well, I grew up with black people. I grew up with a lot of Mexicans. Let me tell you something. Me being from Los Angeles, I grew up with a lot of Mexicans. You don't see me saying what up, SA, and what up, Vato, because guess what? That shit ain't cool. Black people who love being black don't talk like Mexicans. The only black people who talk like Mexicans are Neil Dezad and black dudes who join Mexican gangs. But black people who are proud of being black don't talk like Mexicans, don't walk like Mexicans, don't dress like Mexicans, don't speak like Mexicans at all.
You just being defensive.
I'll be I'm just saying you have, unless you just bust quick, because I do feel like when guys are getting oral, I say it in a nicer way, sometimes you'll be like you don't try to prolong it to make it last longer.
They try to
when
hold
it's
it.
like
Baby.
already.
Yeah.
Nah, I just like fucking head, just like getting my dick sucked.
He's a head guy.
Yeah, but I'm saying, doesn't it feel better if you if you make them do it?
Kick back, get my dick sucked, get my dick sucked, kick back, get my dick up, get my dick up, kick back, get my dick sucked, get my dick up. Make sure that you guys get that likes up. Get the damn likes up. Realer than rap, no cap. Red Supreme. Support the damn Cash App. You already know in the damn game.
Longer. Can you stop yourself?
I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What you be thinking about if you gotta stop yourself?
Nothing. I just fucking squeeze my
about
ass and
pigs.
fucking hold that shit in.
Wait,
Please. Just fucking hold it.
Yeah.
Well, now that we've had that anatomy lesson,
Squeezing your ass to stop you from coming.
I mean, you can't fucking flex your dick without squeezing your ass.
Is that true? Everybody in here trying
I'm
to. I
squeezing
just
my
looked
ass
around.
right now.
Everybody in here.
Yeah, but
You don't have a dick, Gigi.
I know, but I just felt the need to squeeze my ass when he said it.
Okay.
I'm gonna be real, man. You can't expect some chick with a head full of weed to be conscious and say anything real.
Right.
This is why black men look at these women like sexual objects, because they're foolish, they're stupid, they have no damn substance.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Look at these damn wigs. Look at this. You really think you're gonna get something conscious from a woman that has a head full of wig, hair from another race of woman? You really think she was gonna say something that made common sense? You think she was gonna say something that was rooted in common sense? Hell no, you're not gonna get that from a wig wearing thot. She's over sexualized. She's had multiple sex partners. She's not wife material. Do you really think she was gonna stand on FBA business? Hell nah. This is a wig wearing thot.
Yeah.
Who's over sexualized, who's looking for money, fame, and attention. Nothing more. That is all that it is. Oh, you're bashing black women. I'm not bashing black women. You can't expect for black women with a head full of weave looking like this to say something that's relevant, to stand on business. You ain't got no damn business expecting that from a group of women like this. Oh, look at that couch. That couch is terrible. Angela Yee, you ought to be embarrassed of yourself. Look at this couch. That ain't leather, that's pleather. All that damn shit peeling off that damn couch. Just looking horrible. Just looking terrible. Got hood rats up here standing for nothing.
Hey, I
Did
tried
you
it
squeeze
too.
your ass cheek to the hole? Because I'm talking about the hole.
Oh wait,
that's a Kegel.
Yeah,
That's a Kegel. That's a butt Kegel.
It's a booty Kegel.
You know Mormons, they do soaking.
What is that?
Yeah, I know soaking.
Look at this couch, man. This couch is raggedy.
They got the low
You got the damn pleather. That ain't leather. It's pleather. Look at everything that's pulling off this couch. And you got wig wearing hood rats who can't stand on FBA business. They're ratchet and looking for attention.
Oh, dusty couch.
Look at this raggedy ass couch. Angela Yee, let me tell you something, Angela Yee. You done made way too much money for these damn wig wearing thoughts. They be sitting on this damn raggedy ass couch, and you let that Mexican pull up the disrespect foundation of black Americans. Shame on you.
What's that?
Like, imagine their Kegels.
But what's this? What's
So like you can't fuck in their religion. So fucking you could just
You put it in and sit it there.
and just
Like you
sit
can't
there.
fuck.
Hey, but if you got a
sit
homeboy
it
that's
there.
real,
No,
they'll move
for
the
real.
bed for
And then
you.
they move the bed for you, and then you can move in
Why
and
do you
out.
notice,
But
Gigi?
because because I watch stuff on TV.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel
whose
like
religion
you
again?
just nasty as
Mormon.
fuck.
I am.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah. Somebody has to join
in
them
the
and help
Mormon.
them.
So in the Mormon religion, they aren't allowed.
Damn, nigga, that couch look terrible. That couch look horrible. All that damn pleather peeling off that damn couch. That ain't leather. It is pleather. Got these hood rats talking all this nonsense, but refuse to stand on FBA business. That couch looks terrible. Angela Yee, you done made way too much damn money to have these wig wearing thoughts sitting on this damn raggedy ass couch, allowing this Mexican to disrespect FBA culture.
Right.
To have sex before marriage, but horny teenagers, they want to have sex.
That's real? They
No,
move
for
the
real.
bed for
And then
you.
they move the bed for you, and then you can move in
Why
and
do you
out.
know this,
But
Gigi?
because I watch stuff on TV.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like you just nasty as
Mormon.
fuck.
I am.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah. Somebody has to join them
in the
and help them.
Mormon. So in the Mormon religion, they aren't allowed to have sex before marriage. But horny teenagers, they want to have sex. So what they do is they'll put the hot dog in the bun, and they will just let it sit there. That's called soaking.
Like marinate.
Yes. But if somebody moves the bed and it goes in and out, then technically they're getting their shit off, but they're not having sex.
So somebody has to come
How
with
is
the
that
bed.
not sex,
though?
Let them tell it it's not sex.
If you put it in, it's sex.
Yeah.
Right. They freaked out.
But
Hey, I said we watched this video. I forgot who the fuck I was with, but she was saying she got fucked in the ass, so she's still a virgin.
Yeah, people will say that.
Yeah, people will say that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Even like
I'm
giving
not,
head, people
you're not a
consider.
virgin. If you are, yeah, no.
Yeah, people
That's
consider
right.
that they
very
only
experienced.
if you if they have only skipped a few steps and they had sex, they consider themselves virgins as well.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
And a lot of times, and I was
I think she's done with that divestiture shit.
Do you feel like you could say the N-word?
I feel like I can't say it, but not because of that, and I'm gonna tell you why. I wish there was some black dudes in here.
Right. Sister Genesee, this is like a 5th or 6th grade sleepover. Shaking my head. Why are grown folks talking like this? Right, crew. It is embarrassing because
And this one right here, not.
Okay, well, we're gonna use him. What the fuck are you gonna do about it? You know? And then second of all, I grew up loving these motherfuckers. I grew up fighting with them. I grew up eating with them. I grew up fucking doing bad shit with them. I grew up loving with them. You know, I got family, and it's not even about family. Even if I wasn't related to nobody, I'm black. I mean, well, shit, it's what the fuck I was surrounded by. You know, like I respect people that they.
Look, listen, my bad, it was on mute. My bad, it was on mute. Listen, black women. He's a cosplaying Latino. And I knew it was on mute. My bad that it was on mute. You knew damn well there was no black men on this podcast. You knew damn well there was no conscious black men on this podcast. You knew that podcast was going to be full of wig-wearing ratchet black females, and you knew you wasn't going to get no pushback from those ratchet black females who are not conscious, who won't stand on FBA business. You knew damn well there was no black men on that podcast. Oh, I wish it was black men here. Nigga, you knew there was no damn black men there. This podcast consists of ratchet, unconscious black women with wigs. You dig. You knew that before you showed up to that damn podcast. I wish it was black man here. You know that. You knew it. You knew damn well there were gonna be no damn black man on this ratchet ass podcast. Ain't nothing but a bunch of wig wearing dots, and you knew that.
Feel that way, and that's why I try to shut the fuck up about it.
Right.
But if you're from where I'm from, or anywhere, what the fuck are you gonna do about it?
Do you feel like you could say the N-word?
I feel like I can't say it, but not because of that, and I'm gonna tell you why. I wish there was some black.
Do you feel like you could say the N-word?
I feel like I can't say it, but not because of that, and I'm gonna tell you why. I wish there was some black dudes in here.
right there. And this one right here, not.
Okay, well, we're gonna use him. What the fuck are you gonna do about it? You know. And then second of all, I grew up loving these motherfuckers. I grew up fighting with them. I grew up eating with them. I grew up fucking doing bad shit with them. I grew up loving with them. You know, I got family. And it's not even about family. Even if I wasn't related to nobody at Blacc, I mean, it was shit. It's what the fuck I was surrounded by, you know? Like, I respect people that they feel that way. And that's why I try to shut the fuck up about it.
Right.
But if you're from where I'm from or anywhere, what the fuck are you gonna do about it?
Do you feel like?
So he's telling blacks from Texas. He said, if you're from where I'm from, meaning you blacks from Texas, you got a Mexican saying, yeah, I'm gonna use your culture. Yeah, I'm gonna copy your lingo and swagger. But what are you gonna do about it if I use the N-word? Texas brothers, y'all need to stand up to check this Mexican.
Right.
Because nothing about his swagger says Mexican. Everything about his swagger says foundational Black American. You're not using Mexican culture to make money. You're using FBA culture to make money. So he's challenging Texas brothers. He said it himself. If you're from where I'm from, you got a problem with it. What are you gonna do about it? To all my Texas brothers, y'all need to stand up to check this damn Mexican for being disrespectful.
You can say the N-word?
I feel like I can't say it, but not because of that, and I'm gonna tell you why. I wish there was some black.
Do you feel like you can say the N-word?
I feel like I can't say it, but not because of that, and I'm gonna tell you why. I wish there was some black dudes in here.
Will is right there.
And this one right here is not.
Okay, well, we're gonna use him. What the fuck are you gonna do about it, you know? And then second of all, I grew up loving these motherfuckers. I grew up fighting with them. I grew up eating with them. I grew up fucking doing bad shit with them. I grew up loving with them. You know, I got family. And it's not even about family. Even if I wasn't related to nobody at Blacc, I mean, it was shit. It's what the fuck I was surrounded by, you know? Like, I respect people that they feel that way, and that's why I try to shut the fuck up about it.
Right.
But if you're from where I'm from, or anywhere, what the fuck are you gonna do about it?
Do you feel like you can say the N-word?
I feel like I can't say it, but not because of that, and I'm gonna tell you why. I wish there was some black.
Do you feel like you can say the N-word?
I feel like I can't say it, but not because of that, and I'm gonna tell you why. I wish there was some black dudes in here.
Will is right there.
And this one right here is not.
He said black folks in Texas don't give a damn if Mexicans use the N-word. They'll fight about this. Yeah, I'm gonna show you Sauce Walker, who made nothing but excuses for this Mexican using the N-word.
And a lot of times, and I was
Sauce Walker, you an embarrassment. Y'all gotta stop worshiping niggas because they look like they making money. Some of the worst niggas on the planet are niggas who floss money in your face.
Paul won't say nigga.
Sauce Walker don't stand for the people. Sauce Walker made excuses for this Mexican using the N-word. Well, black people, we hate each other. Shut up, nigga. Mexicans kill each other every day. You got the Mexican drug cartels and the Mexican mafia in prison and the Texas syndicate in Texas. All they do is unalive each other and do harm to one another. But you're going to make excuses for this Mexican disrespecting foundational Black Americans because, well, black people, we disrespect each other all the time. So I don't have no problem with no Mexican disrespecting us. Man, this Sauce Walker dude is a fool.
Somebody in their book was talking about that, but they said a lot of guys will do that because they don't want to get you pregnant. So they'll put it there because they know you're in your butt, so you won't get pregnant.
I'm learning a lot, guys.
He just want to be in your ass. He ain't like,
Thank you.
yeah.
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like you just want to be in a booty hole.
Yeah.
That's all.
Is
I mean, booty hole cool though.
Yeah, see? Booty hole's cool.
I don't know. I'm not doing it in the booty hole. No
I ain't gonna
shame.
lie, I put dick in any hole you got.
Oh my God.
Y'all do y'all booty.
No, I can't do
booty
it.
hole.
Not
I'm
a fan.
doing that too.
Yeah,
I'm doing it. I haven't done it in a while, but I'm doing it.
Is that a preference?
try it.
If you had a choice,
Later,
if somebody said, I know.
Listen, these women who done already been smashed by different men and all these babies by different men, why would we look at them and see marriage when it ain't already been ran through by multiple different men?
Right.
All these different sexual experiences been ran through with different penises and their single mothers. Why the fuck would a man of standards, a quality man, look at these women and see marriage? Right. Look at these women and see wife material. You have no damn reason to. They've already been ran through. They didn't already been shared by the community.
Yeah.
Why would you look at them and see value? Why would you look at them and see marriage material? They've already been ran through by multiple men.
They're from the streets.
They sound stupid. She didn't had anal, trains ran on her, baby daddies, and she believed that somehow she's wife material after she didn't been ran through by the whole damn community. Man, please.
We know you like head, but if somebody said pick a hole for
I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you this one. I'm gonna tell you.
Pick a hole,
pick a hole, any hole. Pick a hole, any hole. Now let me ask you this though. From the last time that I've seen you, because clearly like you've done so much since then. Things have been like really just warp speed ahead. How has life changed?
It was rough, man. You know, this famous shit's not for me. You know.
You like it though? Do you like it or no?
I mean,
If you love this show and you love the content that I'm spitting, make sure that you guys bless that cash out. We got 500 plus people. Put some love and respect on the cash out because we going in on topics that actually matter. Shout out to Harold and Jay for the cash out. Let's get some more people. There's no way we should only have 2 people and we got 500 plus people watching. Put some love and respect on the show because I always dive in on these topics that actually matter.
Certain things.
I don't. I like my fans. I like being famous to them. I don't like being famous to the world.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's real. That's real as fuck.
Yeah, you know, because I don't want to, like, man, I don't want to talk to you because you fucking know me for holding the chicken. I want to talk to the motherfucker that can sing my shit word for word. I want to talk to the motherfucker. That's the reason why I don't even know how much I pay in bills. I just fucking, my accountant just does it. You know what I'm saying? I'm blessed and I'm grateful. I was going through some hard shit. I had a motherfucker stealing from me and shit, lying to me and just
my thing is this, bro. FBA people, we got to stop allowing these people to leech off of our culture because they feel like, well, if I hang around blacks, I can use black lingo and black swagger, but still claim to be Mexican. When nothing about your swagger says Mexican, nothing about his swag, style, or stilo says Mexican at all. So how the hell you gonna call yourself OT Mexican when you're not using Mexican culture to make money? You're leeching off of black culture to be relevant in hip hop today. Nothing about your style, lingo, or conversation says Mexican. Nothing about it, bruh. Your whole style and lingo comes from foundational Black Americans, FBA, 100%.
It's my intelligence and it fucked me up.
Right.
My buddy Fee came in and fucking just helped me out a lot. Then it saved my life. You know what I'm saying?
That's great. To him. Listen, I want to say, because Fee is in the room, but I'm not even going to say, Fee is my guy. Like, honestly, to have somebody that I think in this business, I've never heard nobody say nothing backwards or, you know, about Fee. That's my guy. I love Fee. And so I'm glad to see that you guys are working together. But
I remember when I first was listening to Fee talk, I was like, yo, this motherfucker sound like bullshit.
Hit that like button. You know that these hood rats was not gonna check him on anything disrespectful that he said about the culture. You can't expect for wig wearing hood rats to be conscious. You just can't expect that. You know.
But it's because he
looked like a kid too.
No, 1000%. 1000%. And anyways, because the dude that was talking to me was taking his game and like re-rocking it, you know.
Oh, okay.
So when I listen to him and sound like him, I'm like, man, it sound like him. It's bullshit, you know.
Little did you know that was the original.
Yeah, then I realized, damn, cuz was fucking.
Shout out to Trey the Truth from Texas, man. Mexicans are the biggest culture vultures right now. They're the main ones trying to leech off of black culture. Mexicans have become the biggest culture vultures of FBA culture. The Mexicans in Cali, they talk black, they rap with a black slang, they try their best to sound black, but when they go to prison, they operate under Mexican politics, but they want to use black culture to make money once they go back to the streets. It's the same thing in Texas.
Same thing in Colorado.
Mexicans have become the biggest culture vultures of FBA. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with that. I'm not just saying that to blow smoke. I'm saying it because it's the truth. Mexicans have become the biggest culture vultures of FBA people.
Re-rocking your shit, you know?
But I do feel like coming into the game, there's always that period of time where people go through fucked up situations.
Yeah, no, I'm glad it happened now.
It better happen early.
Yeah.
It's better that it happen early than later.
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, like sometimes you sign a contract and you be so mad you signed some shit.
Yeah.
Like why?
And I'm also grateful for the people that are still on my team because I'm already a hard person to deal with. Yeah.
Well, at least you know it.
I'm glad
you're
you're
that. Yeah, at least you.
Mexicans have become the biggest culture vultures of FBA people. Why? Because they want to be relevant in hip hop. They want to make money off of hip hop. So now they have to bite the style of FBA people. They have to bite the style of FBA culture to be relevant in hip hop. This is why Mexicans don't want to be cholos no more. They said we're gonna act black, talk black, and use black culture for financial gain. But when they go to prison, then they want to go. But when they go to prison, they want to be Mexican.
Yeah,
they want to be Mexican when they go to prison, but when they get on the streets, they want to imitate FBA culture to be relevant in hip hop. Black people, if we don't stop these culture vultures, we don't stand for nothing. They are some of the biggest culture vultures in American history. Yes, they are.
Self-aware.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not hard to deal with in bad ways. I'm hard to deal with, and like a lot of people don't agree with my beliefs and what I think. And all it is people are just fucking soft. And
Okay.
you might be fucking soft.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
The only owl in the tree.
Oh, I'm not a softie. I'm actually really tough.
Nah, I
and I feel
believe
the
it.
same way.
Nah.
I feel like a lot of people can be soft and they take certain shit too to heart. And it's just, that's just how I am.
Nah,
I feel like it's
Shout out to Maran Nunn for the Cash App. Shout out to Cheesehead for the Cash App. Bless the show. Realer than rap, no cap is Red Supreme. You can't expect a bunch of wig-wearing hood rats to stand on FBA culture. You really can't expect too much from them. You can't. Right? But I do expect FBA brothers to stand on business. If you get a bunch of wig-wearing hood rats, they're not going to stand on FBA business. They're just looking for attention. They're just looking for an interview, so they're willing to tolerate any disrespect that comes their way. As long as the disrespect ain't coming from a black man, they're willing to accept it. As long as the disrespect ain't coming from a black man, these wig-wearing hood rats are willing to accept it, whether it comes from a Mexican or a white man. You dig what I'm saying?
It's a generational
I hear
thing.
what you're saying, but I don't think so.
I feel like back in the day, people had tougher skin. I feel like everybody's so ultra sensitive these days.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you why though. I think it's a lot of access, way more than it used to be. And then I think that people don't have the space to make mistakes. Because everything just goes viral and everybody's scared of getting canceled. So people be a lot more cautious. Are you scared of ever getting canceled? Like, do you feel like?
No, I'm not. I don't think I can get canceled.
Okay.
But I can't get canceled because I didn't sell my music. I sold me.
Right.
And
it's what come with it.
And these people know who the fuck I am and they love me and they appreciate me. And that's why I can go fucking jump off a bridge and eat a bowl of shit and they gonna fucking love it.
Okay.
Please don't. Yo, he's mad funny. What the hell?
No, but listen
If you
to
had a
me.
choice between jumping off a bridge or eating a bowl of
No,
shit,
but
what
look,
would
listen
you
to me. I did
Jumping
both
off a
and they would have
bridge.
cheered that shit on. And it's because I sold myself. So that's why I don't think I can get canceled. You know what I'm saying? Even
He said he don't think he can be canceled. He can disrespect FBA culture, use our culture to make money, but he don't feel that he can be canceled because even if he jump off of a bridge and eat a bowl of dog doodle, people gonna accept it because black people are now willing to accept anything. He feels like black people in today's society are willing to accept anything. That's why he said what he said. He don't feel like FBA people gonna stand on business. He feel like he can disrespect you as long as he wants to, and you're gonna accept it. You're gonna still rock with him, regardless if he disrespects your culture or not. That's how a lot of these Mexicans and white people feel. As long as they imitate and emulate black culture, they understand that black people are dumb enough to accept them regardless. FBA, it is time. FBA, it is time to stand on business to eliminate these damn culture vultures.
if you don't agree with what the fuck I'm saying, Like there's
I have a question. I'm gonna let you finish though.
there's a whole world that is behind me, and not only is there a whole world behind me, it's so fearlessly me that you have no choice but to respect it, because you.
Nah, my nigga, we ain't gotta respect no damn Mexican using black culture to make money. At this point, you a culture vulture, bro.
Right.
How you gonna call yourself OT Mexican, but nothing about you represents Mexican culture?
Right.
Nothing about this dude represents Mexican culture. He's still in FBA culture 100% to be relevant in hip hop.
Would just look like a dry hater, because at the end of the day, it's what I think.
Period.
Who
A dry hater, my nigga. You using our culture to make money. You call yourself OT Mexican, but it ain't nothing Mexican about you.
It's a time for this madness.
You don't talk like
Sorry, y'all. This damn computer keep on crashing. The whole damn Chrome just shut down on me. But I'm back. So I'll play like 10 more minutes of this madness.
yourself OT Mexican, but nothing about you represents Mexican culture. Nothing about this dude represents Mexican culture. He's still in FBA culture 100% to be relevant in hip hop.
would just look like a dry hater, because at the end of the day, it's what I think.
Period.
Who
A dry hater, my nigga. You using our culture to make money. You call yourself OT Mexican, but it ain't nothing Mexican about you.
Right.
You don't talk like a Mexican. You don't walk like a Mexican. You don't rap like a Mexican. But you got the nerve to say that we hating. You got the nerve to say that we are hating for checking you and your blatant bullshit.
Right.
Nothing about this dude represents Mexican culture at all.
gives a fuck of what I think?
Yeah.
You shouldn't.
Right.
You see what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
I ain't
I
going
couldn't agree
nowhere,
with that.
cousin.
One of my favorite things is what I eat don't make you shit.
Yeah.
So why do you even care?
Yeah.
Unless you're gonna eat it. And then,
The cancel
Unless
culture
I'ma
is
chew it and spit it in your
really
mouth like a
strong.
bird.
I have a question. So you know, like you're from the South. Obviously, you grew up a different kind of way, and you're a rapper too. Do you feel like you could say the N-word?
I feel like I can say it, but not because of that, and I'm gonna tell you why.
He said he feel like he can say the N-word, and I'm gonna tell you why. I want you to listen to this fat Mexican tells you that he feels like he has the right to use the N-word. This is crazy.
Right. I agree.
He calls himself OT Mexican, but nothing about him represents Mexican. He don't talk like a Mexican. He don't rap like a Mexican. He's not using Mexican culture to make money, but he got the nerve to call himself OT Mexican when there's nothing Mexican about him. Everything about him represents FBA. But he feels like he has the right to use the N-word because he grew up with black people. Then he had the nerve to say, what are you going to do about it? To all my Texas brothers, you need to show him what you're going to do about it.
unless you're gonna eat it. And then,
The cancel
Unless
culture
I'ma chew it and
is
spit it in your mouth
really
like a
strong.
bird.
I have a question. So you know, like you're from the South. Obviously, you grew up a different kind of way, and you're a rapper too. Do you feel like you could say the N-word?
I feel like I can say it, but not because of that, and I'm gonna tell you why. I wish there was some black dudes in here.
You wish there was some black dudes in there, nigga. You knew there were gonna. You know there was no black dudes in there. This is a ratchet black female podcast where they talk about sexuality and being over sexualized as thoughts. You knew there was no black men on this podcast. This podcast is ran by ratchet black females who are not conscious. I think you knew that before you pulled up. He knew damn well he couldn't pull up to a Tariq Nasheed podcast and say this bullshit without being checked. He knew damn well he can pull up to a Red Supreme podcast and say this shit without being checked. He knew damn well that he couldn't pull up to the Black Authority or Jason Black podcast and say this bullshit. And shout out to my dog, Minister Jap. He knew he couldn't pull up to no Minister Jap podcast and say this dumb shit without being checked. You knew damn well there were no real black men on this podcast, fool. You knew that.
And this one right here, not
Okay, well, we're gonna use him.
Okay, that's my manager. Hey,
Because me
Will.
and Fee know what's up.
Will, you're black. I'm playing.
What the fuck are you gonna do about it, you know? And then second of all, I grew up loving these motherfuckers. I grew up fighting with them. I grew up eating with them. I grew up fucking doing bad shit with them. I grew up loving with them. You know, I got family. And it's not even about family. Even if I wasn't related to nobody, I'm black. I mean, well, shit, it's what the fuck I was surrounded by, you know? Like, I respect people that they feel that way, and that's why I try to shut the fuck up about it.
Right.
But if you're from where I'm from, or anywhere, what the fuck are you gonna do about it? You know, it's like I don't went to the jungle and earned the lion's head. You know, and I'll dominate anywhere. And
So
I'm not saying I'm out here just fucking whooping ass, because I've taken some ass whoopings. But you will respect me the same way I respect you.
I feel like a lot of people.
You're not respecting our culture by saying you can say this because you want to say this, and whoever, and what are you gonna do about it? You're not being respectful to the culture. For one, you're not black. You're using our culture to make money. You're using our culture to be relevant. You're using our culture to make money. And he said to anybody that's from where I'm from, what are you gonna do about it? Basically, he's challenging Texas brothers. If you got a problem with what I'm saying, what are you gonna do about it? He said he understands why some people have a problem with it, but then he went on to say, if you're from where I'm from, which is Texas, what are you gonna do about it? That's exactly what he said to all our Texas brothers. I want y'all to hear this shit again. I'm gonna drop the link in another 10 minutes.
Family, even if I wasn't related to nobody, I'm black. I mean, well, shit, it's what the fuck I was surrounded by, you know? Like, I respect people that they feel that way, and that's why I try to shut the fuck up about it.
Right.
But if you're from where I'm from, or anywhere, what the fuck are you gonna do about it? You know, it's like I don't went to the jungle and earned the lion's head. You know, and I'll dominate anywhere. And
So
I'm not saying I'm out here just fucking whooping ass, because I've taken some ass whoopings. But you will respect me the same way I respect you.
I feel like a lot of people that are from Latino descent here in New York feel that same way. The Puerto Ricans, the Dominican, like Stephanie, for instance, our former co-host.
Yeah.
Like she's 100% Puerto Rican, but will and down, and nobody says anything about it. So what's the difference?
I mean, shit, y'all just, I mean, and not even trying to justify it, but shit, y'all just got dropped off before us. That's all it is.
Y'all got dropped off first. It's crazy.
We from the same boat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear your point, but I also feel like you see you know when someone else will feel like it's disrespect. So it's not even so much like what you want to do about it. It's like some people really find it disrespectful.
Yeah, no, but I remember
it's
being I remember being disrespectful, like where I'm from, because like I remember a lot.
Shout out to 92 Dolo for the Cash App. He said, I'm from Texas, and I agree with you, Red. Shout out to my Texas brothers. Shout out to 92 Dolo for the Cash App. Shout out to my Texas people in the building.
Being disrespectful, like where I'm from, because like I remember a lot of blacks and Mexicans wasn't getting along where we was for a little minute.
That's a real thing.
Yeah, you know, and then me being just who I was mean, bro. I used to just look for it, you know. That's why all I want to do is love now. You know, I like being a good person. That shit get you far, you know.
All right, listen, man. We need 5 more people to bless that cash out. We need 5 more contributors and supporters. Bless that cash out. We're gonna drop the link. I'm gonna pull some people up to speak so that I can get y'all thoughts about this situation. Was OT Mexican being disrespectful, or do you think he was being respectful and just saying, hey, man, I grew up with blacks. I got love for blacks, so I have the right to say it. What are you going to do about it? Because I grew up with y'all, so I should have the right to say it. Or do you feel like he was being disrespectful and way out of pocket? Either way, pull up and give your thoughts on the conversation. We need 5 more people to bless that cash app immediately.
My dad always told me, son, it don't matter if you're a failure or successful, just be a good person. And that itself got me far as fuck. I'm not the brightest cookie in the jar, you know, but I'm me and people love it and I respect the game.
I feel like your dad really had like a lot of gems and such a big impact on the person that you are today.
Yeah.
You know, and
he said he was looking for beef with blacks. Like, how you gonna use our culture but look for beef with our own people? This is why I have no respect for this. OT Mexican is a culture vulture 100%. He's a culture vulture. You call yourself OT Mexican, but nothing about your swagger or style says Mexican besides those Mexican hats that you wear. But when it comes to the way you talk, the way that you rap, your whole style and lingo, that's FBA, Foundational Black Americans. Nothing about your swagger or style says Mexican at all, bro.
so, yeah, and he has to feel like amazing to see how you turned out.
I'm sure he fucking does.
Does he tell you? Because I know my dad's
I
proud.
wish my daddy was here. Y'all would eat him up, boy.
He don't tell me, but I be.
Somebody said, "Orels keep crying." Listen, homie, you can say whatever you want to say, and I don't want nobody to block this fool. But I'm here to check you, dude. You're not gonna use our culture and swagger to make money and think we ain't gonna check you when you disrespect.
Right.
Stop using our culture to make money. Why don't you make some mariachi music or corridos music?
Right.
Stop biting off of black culture and do your own thing. How you gonna call yourself OTF Mexican when nothing about your style of swagger says Mexican?
Right.
You sound stupid. We have the foundational Black Americans have all the right to check these culture vultures 100%. OTF is a damn culture vulture.
For decades.
These Mexicans who are rapping, who talk black and rap in the black vernacular, they are culture vultures 100%. You don't see black people making Mexican music to make money because we got our own damn music. We ain't got to talk like Mexicans or dress like Mexicans to make money. We have our own damn culture that we can make money from, that we can make money off of.
Hearing it from other people. Oh, like he won't be like, "I'm proud of you," but then other people be like, "Yeah, your father was always talking about you." Da, 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 da. But he don't.
Hey, yeah, we not blocking nobody. You can say whatever you want to say. Just keep it respectful. But I'm telling you this: you got people saying you crying. If we was making money off of Mexican culture, they would have a problem with it. If Black Americans, if foundational Black Americans was using Mexican culture to make money, Mexicans would have a problem with it. But they feel like they have the right to make money off of our culture. And when we call them out for their bullshit, why are you crying? No, we're not crying. We're just calling you out for your bullshit.
You don't necessarily say it to me. You know what I'm
you
saying?
don't need it, you know?
One thing my parents...
You don't think we need it?
One thing my parents did from a very, very young age was tell me that and praise me for all of my academic and physical achievements. Like I was in tennis camp and ballet school and I excelled at everything. I was in private school and I got skipped. I was very smart, that whole thing. And I was always praised, especially by my father. Always.
See, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you want to hear it. Like,
and
don't you?
All right, this is what I'm gonna do, man. I'm gonna drop this link early, man. If you guys have something to say, support.
All right, thanks for Supreme for that ratchetry. Yeah, I don't agree with this mug saying nigga ever. It's no passes given. It's been like that for quite a while now, at least 2 decades. I don't get no passes. These motherfuckers don't get saved. Nigga around me. Getting checks. You're not black. You're not FBA. You're not connected to the culture, connected to the struggle. So no, you should not have no pastor saying "huck a nigga" ever. And I'm sure many of y'all, not all of you, will concur with me. No, I don't tolerate that shit at all. Like Crew said, he needs to go swimming in Lake Lanier. Yeah, everybody want to be black until it's time to be black. And you miss me with that bullshit. Like, no, you're not saying, nigga. I've been checking these months since at least high school about this shit. You're not niggas. You're not black. You want to use our culture to make money. And we're not going for that shit. You're going to get checks. So OT Mexican, I hope the brothers and sisters down in Texas check your ass. Every chance they get your ass canceled. Your album fucking flops. And you go broke like Fat Joe. And Math Heifer. Each other's gonna learn, stop playing with us. So moving along. I'm getting real tired. Again. She said it out loud. Asians admit they chase whiteness and get loans to take over FBA communities. You know, I just want to come out and admit what the fuck we've been saying for decades. They try to assimilate into whiteness and get as close to whiteness as possible when they come over here. So this one, she about to tell on her people real quick.
You know, a lot of you have suspected a lot of things about why we have so many immigrants in the black community, and all of them have businesses. Why? But yet, black people that want businesses in our own communities, we're denied money. We're denied. And I want you to hear two things this Asian woman's going to say. Because one you definitely knew about, but the second one she's going to confirm. And let's get into this.
I say we as an Asian, like we heard about America and we learned that to survive in this country, we needed to align ourselves with whiteness and not blackness because we didn't want to catch that smoke, essentially. So we aligned ourselves with whiteness. And so proximity to whiteness keeps us, quote unquote, safer. But in doing that, they can be like, ha, model minority. If the Asians can do it, why can't you do it? And so we created a wedge as people of color against other people of color.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. Yeah. Yeah, it's a whole thing. And then like the riots in LA, the wedge theory came in crazy because professionals from Asia came, but they're not allowed to be doctors here. But they can get a loan because they're proximity to whiteness. But they can only get a loan in black neighborhoods.
Right.
Where black people couldn't get loans. And so there's that automatic tension.
All right. So they say that basically when they taught to come here, they have to align with whiteness. And don't they do that? She's not lying about it. They all like to align with white supremacy. Because what did she say? We don't want to get that smoke. They all don't want to be us. They all don't want to be in opposition. But here's the problem. You can align yourself with whiteness all you want. That's your business. I can't say nothing about that. But you want to use the provisions that the group that gets the smoke and you don't want, you want to use every right and freedom that we fought for. But you want to sit up here and align yourself with whiteness. And that's the problem. And that is the greatest offense. Okay. That's the greatest offense. This is why FBAs aren't sitting up here advocating for more immigration. This is why FBAs aren't crying about ICE or anything like that. It's because we have seen that they have used immigration to our financial detriment, our personal detriment, and literally brought in people that's weaponized as a buffer class in between them and us to fight. Basically, it's kind of like the Iran thing where Iran used proxies to attack. So Iran itself don't have to do it. So like Iran to use the Houthis, they'll use Hamas, they'll use Hezbollah, right, to attack as proxies. So they don't have to do it. They'll fund it, they'll do all that, but you say, hey, well, I didn't attack you. Iran, we didn't attack you. That was Hezbollah, that was them, but they really funded them, right? Well, what white supremacy decided to do was bring in all these different Asian groups. You remember last week, East Indian woman has talked about that. How we don't supposed to go around black people, get around white people, same thing. This Asian woman saying the same thing. And then think about it. Biden flooded this country full of people from Latin America. And what black people are finding out about them is, wait a minute, a lot of them have anti-black racism. We just flooded our country with a bunch of anti-black racists, and Biden and them knew that. Because do you think they wanted anybody coming in here that would align with FBA? No. So they could be the new racist class that keep their hands clean. This is why FBA is pro-mass deportations, because they are now admitting, see what happens when you delineate? They're admitting that they knew this. This is the thing. They knew it. This isn't like, oh man, I didn't know I was being used to do these things. They knew it. They told them, look, we'll give you a loan for a business, but you got to go over there with black people. Why would they do that? So they could sit up here, coming into our country, go into our neighborhoods. We can't establish businesses in our own neighborhoods, but a foreigner, because they can't speak the language or barely even and put two English words together, can have a whole business in our community. So yes, they're going to start tension. And then what do? They come up off the black community. They live in good. And then they turn around and say, well, y'all black people are lazy. I come from this country with $2, but you're not telling about that loan program that you got from the federal government. You're not talking about this refugee money you was getting. The FBAs can't get. I mean, think about it. White supremacy is very insidious. They purposely brought these people in there, put them in our neighborhood to cause tension, to fight with them so we wouldn't be paying attention to them. You understand? This stuff is but it's good because now they haven't admitted. Why they haven't admitted? Because FBAs have pulled back. And because FBAs have pulled back, and even the Asian community has done their dirt too, because everybody putting things on Latinos, it's the Asians too. Because remember, they fought to get rid of affirmative action and college admissions. And you remember how everybody said, oh, okay, all right, that's what you want? They was the first one that was on that list, on the black list. And then now you see the other groups, the Latinos and all them. We're FBAs. We're like, for FBA. No, we're not advocating. We're not saying anything, because let's call it what it is. Y'all been brought in here to undermine us. All of y'all are admitting now that y'all have been allowed to come here to specifically undermine FBA and benefit the folks with cheap labor. That's your job. Undermine FBA, get cheap labor from the folks. So that's why black folks are like, yeah, we cool. You know, that's no, we good. Now you see why? But shout out to her, though. I'm not mad at her. I'm not mad at her at all. Shout out to her, because I'm loving the admission that they all have, they played their hand in. And this is why FBA don't supposed to come out and defend nobody. If you want to defend somebody, you defend another FBA. That's what you do. You'll defend nobody but your own. Because all these other groups, as a collective, they want to get close to whiteness as possible and undermine us. That's all of them. They just admitting it now. So what do we do about this information? We support our own. We encourage the community. We figure out new ways to unify and work with each other. We prioritize our businesses. We prioritize our events, our schools that we have. Start keeping that money, start circulating that money back into the Black community. Now you know that these other groups were brought in here specifically to undermine us. Because you think about it, every time we get a foothold somewhere, they start flooding that city full of immigrants. Every time. Like Atlanta, they're trying to flood Atlanta now with full of immigrants. Biden was doing it. Now Trump then came in, so that kind of got slowed up. But they were trying to flood Atlanta for like why Atlanta can't stay Black. Then you got your Black politicians trying to go with gentrification, all this stuff, trying to like why y'all every time Black people get somewhere, y'all always try to mess it up. But we got all these white enclaves all over the country, and nobody's trying to flood it full of immigrants and mess they enclaves up, but just ours. That's why the mass deportation, yeah, let Trump do what he gonna do. That's a benefit to FBA. We do not benefit off of immigration. Do not. They import a problem for FBA. And that's really one of the main reasons, issues I had with Kamala Harris, be honest with you, is that immigration. That was one of the main issues I had with her. That I think that was one of the biggest issues I had. It was that immigration stuff. Because I know she was going to import them in here. But yeah, FBAs just stand 10 toes down. Don't you feel bad at all about these other groups? About what they dealing with? Because they've been brought in here to undermine the FBA and side with white supremacy. And all the way they can sign white supremacy, they have to do things against you and me. Are some of them cool as individuals? Sure. Some of them are cool as individuals. But when we look at as a collective groups, we had no problem doing the bidding of these folks. Always remember that.
Everything. I was in private school and I got skipped. I was very smart, that whole thing. And I was always praised, especially by my father. Always.
See, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you want to hear it. Like,
And
don't you?
All right, this is what I'm gonna do, man. I'm gonna drop this link early, man. If you guys have something to say, support the show in a major way. Because like I said, man, I'm one of the only people who bring people up to speak. I can talk for 3-4 hours, but I decide to bring you people up to speak. Shout out to 92 Dolo for the Cash App. I appreciate you, brother. Shout out to my man Trey S. Shout out to Trey S for the Cash App. You know I appreciate you, my brother, for supporting this damn show. You already know. Let me bring up Westside Coolick, man. My Texas. Shout out to my Texas brother right here, man. You got it.
Hey, how you doing, man? Much respect. How you doing, man?
Man, it's all good, brother. Hey, man, I'm glad that I got somebody from Texas up here, man.
Yes,
man.
indeed. Yes, indeed. Much respect to your show. You came back with another one here, and we got another genetically modified mutt disrespecting our culture. Now, the real so-called Black folks in Texas, we don't go for this. We do check them. We do check them. And I'm not gonna make this no California is better, Texas is better. We all family at the end of the day. And half my family's from California anyway. And that's why when you was talking about Red, right, how people from Cali was checking this shit, I know what's up because I seen it in real time and heard too. So, you know, we got some coon boom jooms everywhere. Just like Sauce Walker, he's a coon, he's an idiot. He'll do anything for money. He'll do any damn thing. But this fat fucking beaner with this disrespect and this gaslighting and these microaggressions, how they do, and these goddamn Mexicans are very, 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 very disingenuous. Very disingenuous. So y'all got to check this shit. Y'all got to check it immediately, because if you don't, something small becomes big. A lot of them are racist, if not all of them. They don't like you. They use your culture to their advantage for money and validation. And I guarantee you, if they didn't act like us or act like so-called Black men, half their women, if not any of their women, would want them. If they were looking like them goddamn rancheros and all that shit like that and talking all that shit, rolling them R's 24/7, you think they wouldn't want them? No, they would not. No, they would not. And it's just like that one dude, I think he was from LA too, because he was doing their dances and music better than Chocolate, whatever. I forget his damn name. And if you looked at the comments when he was doing the videos and doing that damn Bondo or whatever music whatever, mariachi music and shit like that, if you looked at the comments and all the racist shit they were saying about him, it was insane. So when we do their shit, look how they act. And he was doing their shit better. So another thing too with this N-word shit, I don't say the N-word no more because I'm tired of it. It's played out. These damn Hispanics say it more than us. Asians say it more than us. Whites say it more than us. I don't say it no more. I definitely don't say it in mixed company. So I want to challenge so-called black people. Don't say it no more. If you're going to say it, only say it amongst each other. But I'm talking about these coon-ass sellout rappers because I've gone to these rap concerts. And these people are yelling the N-word at them in concert. They don't have an issue with it. I've been to the Kendrick concerts. I've been to the Slim Thug concert. I've been to the whatever concerts. You got these foreigners saying the N-word left and right. But when you get off stage, now you got an issue with it? Nah, you ain't saying that shit no time. I don't care if it's a movie. I don't care if it's music or whatever. You didn't earn the right to be so-called black. And y'all jumping from being these costume wearers. One day you want to be Mexican. One day you want to be so-called black. Nah. Y'all need to go back home like we've been saying for years since y'all are so proud of your fucking culture, which you're not. But us real Texas folk, we don't go for that shit. We check that shit. We're not with any of this dumbass shit. And then he gonna sit here and say, I used to treat y'all a certain way. I mean, you hear this disingenuous disrespect this goddamn Diener is saying? But again, he did this in front of a bunch of women. He did this in front of a bunch of women. That's how they do. They pick soft targets. They're a bunch of punks at the end of the day. I'm not saying all of them, but a majority of them are fucking pussies, real shit. Especially if they don't got the numbers, they ain't gonna do shit. We'll pass the mic.
All right, for sure, man. Let me bring up Kendrick, man. Kendrick, man, you got it, bro.
Hey, how you doing, brother? Appreciate the letting me come into the show. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
All right, cool. But yeah, definitely. OT, he's definitely just a rip off of Kevin Gates. He sounds literally just like Kevin Gates. Like we say, I like what that other brother, the last caller, just said. Just like us, in order to get females, because I'm originally from Louisiana. Had no problem with Mexican female at all, and you would see a lot of these essays and stuff because the brother was able to just get these females really.
Yeah, you kind of froze up, my bro. He froze up. Let me bring up Walla J, my brother.
What's up,
You got
Red?
it.
How you doing, panel? What's up, chat? Now, I know the last caller said he sounded like Kevin Gates. He sounded like the baby to me. When I first heard him, I thought that was the baby rapper. They were like, nah, it's a new dude called Mexican OT. I said, huh? I thought the baby had a new song. I'm like, he don't sound like a Mexican rapper. He sound like a black dude. Like the last caller and the first caller was saying, he gotta steal our swag to have his own damn swag, which it ain't no swag in him at all. Like, you ain't nothing but a ripoff. Like, you ain't original. And we can really go to be honest, a lot of Mexican culture, Hispanic culture came from the Afro Latinos, if we really want to go there, because they stole on Latinos, they stole a lot of Afro Latina culture. So all their music is not even their music came from the black people down in Mexico and further. So they ain't nothing but a bunch of stealers, liars, deceitful people in the first damn place. So for him, it's like, nah, bro, like you ain't it. And I already know in about 5 years he gonna be non-existent. Ain't nobody really checking for him like that. It's like you're not original. You're not authentic of who you really are. You really went up there and said this in front of a bunch of women, some Caribbean, especially that little one right there on the screen with the fake ass hair. You really went up there to say all this stuff in front of them, but I guarantee you, if it was nothing but a bunch of FBA men in there, that bass in your voice would have went all the way out. Okay, ain't no way in hell I would let you say what you said. I would have looked at you and smacked this shit out you. Straight up. Not trying to be disrespectful on your panel, but ain't no way I'm gonna let someone like you go disrespect me and my people and our women, even though they're not technically our women, on that platform. Ain't no way I'm letting you do that. Because for one thing for sure, you're a guest, and we can easily kick you out of our culture. Easily, and I'll land there.
Man, shout out to Walla J, man. I appreciate you, my brother. Shout out to Walla J, man. King J.
Shout out to Walla J. Salute to him. All right, so I got a couple more topics for you. I'm trying to stay up on the end of stuff. I'm not do a continuation of them all. But I gotta get to this next topic before I do that. And that is, oh, the clip must have played. So anyway. Someone I advocated for, who got jailed for self-defense against white attackers, fights back with a lawsuit. Definitely gotta play that.
Now suing. I want justice. Update. Stephen Long, black man that was previously jailed on first-degree murder, charged for defending himself, now suing the city of Denver as well as the officers who conducted the arrest. Let's remind you of this one, shall we? A lot of twists and turns, the details. Despite multiple witnesses telling police that Stefan Long had acted in self-defense when he shot and killed two white assailants who had attacked him during a road rage altercation, Denver prosecutors charged the black man with 2 counts of first-degree murder. And a Black Star of friends filling in the details. Long ended up spending 4 months in jail and an additional 10 months on house arrest. He had an ankle monitor before prosecutors dismissed the charges for, quote, insufficient evidence. Don't you want to take care of that before you lock me up? And I've got to eat those nasty sandwiches? I don't understand. I actually do. Reminder of the incident took place June 13, 2023, after Long had signed a lease agreement with an apartment along with his wife and 2 children. Normal day. Long then, 25, was driving northbound on I-25 while his wife and 2 children followed behind in another car. Long had been talking to his wife on the phone when the 2 white brothers, Damon and Blake Lucas, who were 22 and 21, respectively, apparently became annoyed because he'd been driving too slowly. They pulled up next to him. They yelled at him. Claim states Long attempted to exit the interstate, but the other car pulled in front of him and came to a stop, pinning his car where he was unable to move. Blake then hopped out of the car and ran up to the driver's side of Long's car, punching him in the face repeatedly through the open window before Long shot him dead. Damon, who had been driving, then hopped out of the car, ran up to the driver's side window as Long was trying to drive away. So Long shot him dead as well. Denver police officer in an unmarked car heard shots, followed Long as he drove away, notifying other officers who arrested him a couple of miles away. Now, despite the early evidence of self-defense, the Denver District Attorney's Office charged Long with 2 counts of first-degree murder. I know motive doesn't necessarily have to be a component of a crime, murder, but what would be the motive here? What would be the motive? So he remained in jail, no bond, 4 months, as his family sought help from the Denver Justice Project, a nonprofit organization focused on criminal justice reform. The charges were eventually dismissed. Denver prosecutors dismissed one charge of first-degree murder against Long in October 2023, dismissed the second first-degree murder charge in August 2024. Same incident, 2 charges of first-degree murder, one dismissed October 2023, the next half a year later. Last week, Long filed a lawsuit against 2 Denver police officers who arrested him and labeled him the suspect, as well as the city and county of Denver, who followed through on the prosecution, accusing them of violating his 4th and 14th Amendment rights, selective prosecution, and unlawful arrest. The lawsuit claims Long would never have been charged had he been white and the assailants Black, listing an example from a previous unrelated case where a white man chased down a Black boy who had stolen his car and shot him to death, despite being told to back off the chase by a 911 dispatcher. Wow. So Long issued a statement. This experience has been the most devastating chapter of my life, not just for me, but for my entire family, Long said in a statement released to a local media last week. Being wrongfully charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder changed not just my life, but also the ones closest to me, my family. He continued, I was jailed, unable to be with my wife and our 2 young infants, leaving them behind while I fought for the chance to prove my innocence. The emotional and physical toll of that separation is something no innocent person should ever have to endure. The lawsuit is ongoing. This is an unfortunate, violent incident that by proper accounts, Mr. Long did not begin. He ended it, the initial incident. It ended in the death of 2 people. I think more people have to sue. And I don't fault people who don't have the means, the will, the support. But this is, to me, so illustrative of what certain people face versus others of a different hue. What say you about the circumstances here, Tehran, and what Mr. Long is doing?
This particular case is extremely complicated because it happened in the state of Colorado, which specifically does not have a stand your ground statute like so many other states in the United States, which we're familiar with, of course, Florida being the most famous. Now, before I begin, let me give my condolences to the Lucas family, losing 2 children, 21 and 23, so young. That's obviously extremely heartbreaking, especially since they got lost to the ideas of toxic masculinity and self-defense and gun violence and all the things that are so wrong in society a lot of times. Now, that being said, Mr. Long was charged with something that was clearly self-defense. They were the aggressors, the Lucas brothers. They attacked him. This was over road rage. We've all been there, but to go this far is something that is a conversation, if nothing else, and a criminal act, if nothing least. He was charged, and they charged him with premeditated murder, first-degree murder. That means there was premeditation, there was malice, there was circumstance, all the things that were not visible or available during this case. It was road rage. It was instantaneous. If at best, it should have been manslaughter. Did the city do that because it wanted to lay the foundation for Mr. Long getting off? They overcharged him with something that they knew they could not prove in order to have it dismissed. I don't know. That's something that's going to be apparent in the lawsuit. Did the police officers become overzealous and break his constitutional rights, his 4th and his 14th Amendments? I don't know. These are things that are going to become apparent in the lawsuit. I do know that the law seems to always work for and or against Black people and not always for or against white people, meaning that if there's a penalty subject, the Black defendant will get the highest penalty while the white defendant will walk. Those are statistics. Those are true. I don't know if that's the case in this case, but we will find out.
Yeah, we will. It does seem like when someone such as Mr. Long gets it to work, it has to be taken by force. The law does. See, and under these obvious circumstances, witnesses, I would think there's cameras. I mean, yeah, you know, look at the society we live in. And yet this is what it took. This is how much it's going to be worth. Because even when you're talking civilly, what is worth it for someone of a certain hue versus someone else is a whole nother matter.
I bet you they listen to him when he honks, though. Yeah. I bet you they listen to him from now on when he honks.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's true, Tehran.
Yeah, so like I said, this is somebody I advocated for, along with the other young man that was mentioned but not mentioned. They didn't mention his name, Elias Armstrong, who was killed by suspected white supremacists after him and his buddies decided they were going to steal a car blocks away from where I used to live. And I remember this like it was yesterday because I was running from mayor at the time of Denver, and this happened around that same time, and I was like, yeah, this is definitely case of self-defense. And like I just stated, we don't have a stand your ground castle doctrine out here in Colorado, so you have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you must have racist intentions to harm him, and that's why he was justified in using lethal force. So it's a little bit different out here. But the crew's still in here. He can tell y'all about his experience out in North Dakota. He had to lay down a white supremacist that tried to attack him. So shout out to Stephen Long. I stand with Stephen Long. Same on DA Beth McCann. She charged him with attempted murder and all this craziness before all the facts was laid out. So yeah, I hope he gets paid. I really do. And I had the pleasure of meeting him and his family. I believe it was last first day of Kwanzaa. Yeah, end of last year, I met him and his family. Stephen Long and his family. I met them both. All of them, including the babies. So they were so happy to see me. I happened to be wearing their shirt. Justice for Stephen Long. So that was real good. So I was so happy to see him get out because they had him locked down for several months behind this. He was away from his family. I think the Latinos always talking about you separate us from our family. Well, Stephen Long was separated from his family. So he should definitely be compensated for that. And overly charged. So he's on ankle monitor as far as I know right now. And he should have a court date coming up, a trial coming up here shortly. So we'll keep y'all posted on it. But yeah, it's clearly a clear act of self-defense. The brother should get off. But as they were saying, punk ass young church. We always get charged, overly charged, and sentenced harder than our white counterparts. So there's always that. They call it the color of law. Yeah. So I'll keep y'all posted on what's going on with that. So I got like 2 more topics to get to before I pass the hell out. And that is Lord Jamar reveals why he returned to VladTV, Asian Vlad. Anybody going on there is a suspect as hell. I don't care what nobody says. Going on there, no jumper. He's just asking for major trouble and major alphabet interaction, to say the least. So, the one B's gonna give us an update on that.
So salute to all that. So what we're gonna do is We're going to play what Lord Jamar said, and I prefer, and I'm going to put in the chat his channel. I want you guys to please, there we go, boom. I want you guys to please go and watch it directly on his channel. Give him the views. And then we are about to talk about it. So let me go back to the beginning.
Happy about that.
And then we're going to listen to what he has to say in his own words. And then I'm going to give my response. All right, here we go.
Peace. Grand Rising. On this Wisdom Cipher Day, all being as did I. I'm reporting live from my backyard right now. So recently, I went on VladTV, and some people were very happy about that. Some people were disappointed. I'm hearing that. People made videos, you know, showing their discontent and all of that. You know, all I can say is my obligation is to civilize the uncivilized, okay? My job is not to preach to the choir. And many times you need to go where the uncivilized people are at. Now, originally, this whole Vlad boycott started because he didn't apologize to Minister Farrakhan. Well, fast forward 5 years later, he's apologized.
That's a very, very, very important point I don't want to miss. Lord Jamar always said from day one is about the apology to Farrakhan, and he apologized. That's a very important point, but let's keep going.
I know what I said about Mr. Godfrey. And yeah, I guess that looked bad. Me saying that about him and then changing my mind. But guess what? As a grown man, I have the right to change my mind. Once certain information, more information comes into play about certain things that I'm not going to get into the full specifics of, but I have more clarity on the situation as a whole. And that's the decision I decided to do when looking at the big picture. So anyone who's a true supporter of me, who actually subscribes to my channel, who actually, you know, donates regularly and gives super chats, if I disappointed you, pardon me, I love you, and pardon me. Anybody else, y'all are just white noise, okay? But love to all of y'all. Yeah, listen, mission was accomplished. We wanted Vlad to apologize, and he apologized, okay? So that being said, you know, we did the boycott on Vlad. Y'all didn't support it. You know what I mean? People were still going up to Vlad. People were still watching his videos. You know, the man got 6.1 million subscribers on YouTube. I have 174,000. I need to go where my message will be proliferated to the masses. I need to be the voice of reason in unreasonable times, and that's what I've chosen to do. So if I disappointed you, pardon self. But at the end of the day, oh, and I just want to say, anybody that made videos about me trying to, thinking that they were tearing me down to try to build themselves up. Listen, I didn't even give you all the time of day. I've not seen your video, so you didn't touch me, okay?
What you think, Rocky?
I'm here. This is my backyard, and you're mad. Why don't you make a video from your backyard telling me about how you're mad at me, okay? But listen, I love all y'all. I appreciate the support. There is not a sellout bone in my body. Sellouts are paid to shut their mouths and not talk that shit. And I'm going to always talk that shit. I'm going to always speak the truth as I see it. You might not see it that way, but trust me, I'm going to always speak the truth.
So that was Lord Jamar's response. And again, I encourage you to watch the full video over on his channel. So what are my thoughts? Whoa, shit. This shit's still fucking up, man. Come on. I told him to stop doing that. There we go. So those are Lord Jamar. That's Lord Jamar's reaction. Here's my response. First off, for me, it's not me on me to forgive or whatever. That's not. I'm not in that business because Vlad didn't do anything to me. So who am I to say what someone should or shouldn't do? I don't know DJ Vlad. As a matter of fact, I saw him on y'all know I saw him last week at the Jazz Festival, and whatever. You know what I mean? I didn't ask for no goddamn interview, nor will I. But I have something to say about Lord Jamar going back. First off, the initial reason for the boycott was because Vlad did not apologize to the great Minister Louis Farrakhan. He said some wrong shit and didn't apologize. Vlad has since apologized. Once he apologized, I was like, okay, for the people who that was what the boycott was about, then who am I to judge them for what they do afterwards, if that's why they boycotted? Personally, I don't watch Vlad because I think he's a fuckboy. That does all kind of fuckboy shit. Will I personally go back to watching VladTV? No, probably not. Will I even watch his interview with Lord Jamar? I don't know. If I did watch a Vlad TV show, I would probably watch. If I watched anything, it would be that interview. But I'm not sure I'm even going to watch that. I'm not sure I'm going to watch that because for me, my issue with Vlad is deeper than the issue with Louis Farrakhan. You know? Hell, Vlad got me blocked on social media, so that's not my protest. I'm not Nation of Islam. I'm not with none of that. So my reasons for not fucking with Vlad are different than Lord Jamar's reasons for not fucking with Vlad. Lord Jamar's reasons for not fucking with Vlad is because of the Minister Louis Farrakhan thing. Once Vlad apologized, it's on the people who started the whole situation, on them what they do. Does this look funny when you, especially before Lord Jamar explained himself? Yeah, it looked funny to me. I'm thinking like, why the fuck go back to him? But Lord Jamar is his own man. That's the first point. Second point, Lord Jamar made a good point. People didn't stop boycotting Vlad. Some people did. A lot of us that follow this channel, a lot of us did. But that's on top. Did you really? Because the boys' views didn't suffer. So it's a lot of people saying that they boycotted Vlad, and a lot of people, and let's just tell the truth, there's a lot of people y'all calling Lord Jamar a sellout, but you kept watching DJ Vlad videos. If you kept watching DJ Vlad videos during the last 5 years, you don't have anything to say about this man being a sellout. Because, like, I have an issue with people who play it straight. How people who tell the truth, and I'm in this category, people who tell the truth, people who call it like it is, there's like this high moral stance that people put on those who tell the truth that they're unwilling to put on themselves, and they're unwilling to put on other people in entertainment. Most people that are holding Lord Jamar to this standard are full of shit. And that's just the truth. Most people holding Lord Jamar to a high moral standard, they're full of shit. That's just the long and short of it. Because if you're going to put somebody else at a standard that you yourself is unwilling to live, you're full of shit. If you never protested DJ Vlad and you're mad at Lord Jamar for coming back, you're full of shit. If you stop watching DJ Vlad for about a year or two after the whole Farrakhan situation and you went back to watching DJ Vlad and you're mad at Lord Jamar, you're full of shit. And then it's people who talk about, and you could be disappointed. I get it, because like me, look, was I disappointed when I first saw it? Yeah. But I'm a grown-ass man. What the fuck do my grown-ass look like going around talking about some, ooh, I'm so sad. He should have did what I wanted. Man, give a fuck. My disappointed don't put gas in nobody's goddamn tank. So how I feel about what he did, in my point, I'm talking about my feelings, not yours. How I feel about what he did is totally irrelevant. Because my feelings ain't putting money in nobody's pockets. I'm a grown man. And my feelings are my feelings. And I think every adult should understand that about themselves. Your feelings are your feelings. And all of us have the right to feel how we feel. Like, when I saw Tariq Nasheed go on DJ Vlad, I was like, what the fuck? But I didn't speak out against that man for doing so. Nor did I watch his interview. He had a movie to promote. He had his own thing and his own reason as to doing why he did what he did. I'm not gonna say I like the move, but what the fuck does it matter what I like when it comes to another grown man? And in some ways, what I'm saying here is also, and I go back to that video I did when DJ Vlad initially apologized. Another reason why I don't get into why it doesn't matter as much what I feel, because I'm not in their shoes. But that's why I lost my train of thought. One thing about us as Black people that we got to learn, and I see it a lot, we don't know how to win overall yet. We don't know how to win. Sometimes we don't know what a win looks like. And I saw this in my video I did when DJ Vlad initially apologized to Farrakhan. And I said this then and I'll say it again. It's very rare that people apologize to Black people. Black folks are going to have to understand that when that happens, that's a chance to rub it in people's faces. That's the chance to really shit on people. You did when they apologize, like someone like a DJ Vlad. That's a chance for all of us to really go in on what he did wrong and make an example out of him. That's a chance for us to really exploit, not just expose, exploit schisms in other communities when they apologize. Apologies, when we get them from other communities, we're so not used to getting them, we'll still sit back and pout. Let me tell you something about business. I learned this when I was working in mortgage banking. I would see some companies sue other companies in music. You'll see one company sue the next company, and right after they're done suing, go right back to doing business with one another. Because, yeah, it is about the money. And I think Black people too often are the most immature when it comes to that. It just is. Is it about that for you, for me? Not on different levels to different people, it's what it is. But when we're watching TV, when we're watching entertainment, even the people you love, I promise you, it's about the money. If their way of making money is to get in front of people, I can promise you it's about the money. All the rest of that shit is fantasy land. Okay? That's just the world we live in. You're right. Nations do the same. Japan bombed the United States of America in World War II, Pearl Harbor. The United States then, after the war was over, gave Japan all of the keys to the electronics industry. And not only did Japan get money back, it got an opportunity back. And America used this enemy to now be an ally on that side of the world. So now you're looking at, we're what, 67 years since Pearl Harbor, since D-Day? Now Japan is the military. I mean, it's an area that America uses to keep China in check militarily. The United States understood it couldn't stay mad at Japan forever. You're an asset. And in the real world, you have assets and you have debts. And people who are your enemy, people who do things that you don't like, they can still sometimes be an asset. Personally, for me, I'm not in DJ Vlad's ecosystem. I'm not in this realm. He can't do anything for me. He didn't do anything for me. He can't do anything for me. So if I put my feelings into it, what Lord Jamar did was crazy. It was silly for what I did, from me, because I'm not in that ecosystem. He is. And the truth is, you niggas wasn't watching Lord Jamar like that anyway. If you go and look at the views, let's go to Lord Jamar's channel. Let's go to his channel real quick. Let's look. 7,800 views, 4,400, 22,000 when he explained. One video of 3,000, 10,000, 12,000, 9,000. When you look at his views, the video we did together, 30,000, he has good views, but not great views. It's not like for him, going Blacc to Blacc cannot help his channel. Let's get to the next point. When Lord Jamar said that, okay, it's his job to go and tell the truth and to speak to the lost, according to him. Let's go back to that point. Let me go to the chat room real quick. Yeah, I know, Rashad. I know you watch the God Pod. I watch the God Pod. I think it's a good show. I love Lord Jamar's channel. I don't need to see Lord Jamar and Vlad. If Lord Jamar got something to say, hopefully he goes back and interviews with Art of Dialogue. I think Art of Dialogue asks better questions anyway. And not go directly to his channel. And so I'm hearing all of this, what people are saying. Lord Jamar, I can't call him a snake. I can't call him someone who sold out. Why? Because he got what he wanted. His whole purpose was an apology to Minister Louis Farrakhan. He got what he wanted. And the second point I want to make is what he said about what a sellout is. He's right. A sellout is somebody who's willing to take money to be silenced. That's what a sellout is. He ain't being silenced. He's still talking what he talks. He got what he wanted. What he wanted was an apology to the Minister Louis Farrakhan. And that's what he got. So I'm not going to bash the man. He got what he wanted. A lot of us are disappointed. A lot of the people are disappointed. And that's fine. Y'all can be disappointed. I just, I'm not telling people not to be disappointed. Only thing I'm asking is that grown ass men, as the men, we don't go around and think that our disappointment means something. As a man, you got to be very clear. Your disappointment don't mean shit to another man. That's just what it is. Somebody said Dewan is doing a terrible job of defending Lord Jamar. I'm not defending Lord Jamar, you dumb fuck. I'm giving my point of view. Lord Jamar can defend himself. I'm not fucking with Vlad. I'm not watching his interview. I ain't defending him. He's defending himself. How anybody out there, especially men, how any man feels about another man, that is your business. That's your business. I ain't gonna tell you now how to feel. Somebody said name calling. Yeah, I call everybody names. I'm gonna call you a bitch for saying that's sad. It's a different world over here. Lord Jamar is out there and he's making his bread. And he's making his bread and he ain't harmed not one hair on a black person's head. He's not speaking out against black society. Stand on code is when you go out and you speak out against and you harm black society. He ain't did none of that. He did what he feels is best. And if that's what he feels, that's what he feels. Thank you, Sean. Lord Jamar, yeah, y'all know how to retitle the broadcast, right? So now when it comes to the Godfrey part, honestly, if I'm saying the whole truth, I ain't been watching it back and forth between Lord Jamar and Godfrey. I haven't. The same reason why I haven't been watching the back and forth between Corey Holcomb and Godfrey. I like Lord Jamar. I like Godfrey. I like Corey Holcomb. And when I see men that I have respect for and appreciation for going back and forth, I don't get involved. I'm an LA nigga. I don't get in other men's beefs. So personally, I've seen like the titles of, I've seen the videos where like Godfrey going in the whole back and forth. I ain't watched not one single Lord Jamar video where he's talking about Godfrey and how they fell out. I ain't watched one single Godfrey video on how and why he fell out with Lord Jamar. I ain't seen one video on how Godfrey responded to Lord Jamar going on Vlad. Even on 5150, I watched almost every episode of 5150. When I seen Corey go in on Godfrey, I've just always been like, shit. That's been my point of view on the whole situation. Like, God damn. And at the same time, I don't hope these niggas get back together. That's another thing. Again, like, I'm a grown-ass man. I don't give a fuck if none of these niggas get back together. They are men. Men do what the fuck men do. Men lead their own pride. And as a man, I ain't got no business over two other men's friendships. I can't find one fuck to give if Godfrey and Lord Jamar get back together, or if Corey Holcomb and Godfrey, or if Godfrey. I don't give a fuck. Men got their own reasons for falling out. People got their own reasons for falling out. And whatever people's reasons are for falling out with each other, it's because there's a dynamic going on between them that is bigger than I understand. And as a man who owns his own businesses, I don't have time to get into why two other men fall out. All men are ugly and all men stink. So I don't give a fuck about what another man does. All men are ugly and all men stink. I only care about what's beautiful and smells good. And that's women. I don't care. I do not care. And I don't trust men that get that involved in other men's businesses either. So if you're the kind of dude that think you don't come in my chat room and think, oh, DeJuan, you're not explaining it right, and you should, well, fuck you too. Because I'm the kind of man that my world is over here, your world is over there. And as long as you aren't doing anything to go out there and overtly hurt the black community, say stuff against black people, undermine black culture, say things against black culture, I ain't got nothing to say. Talking about sellout. You niggas that wasn't buying them to begin with. How the fuck can somebody sell you out? You weren't buying? And that's nothing when it comes to respect. I respect everybody's point of view. If Lord Jamar's point of view was we boycotting Vlad because of what he said to the minister, I respected it. My reason for not watching Vlad, that was a tipping point for me. I was already pulling back from Vlad before the whole situation with the Nation of Islam. I was already pulling back because I seen too many things that he was doing. All people going to jail. I personally think that Vlad it is my opinion. I think he's part of some kind of agency or some. I think the motherfuckers the cops. But personally, I'm not a criminal, so I'm not afraid of the cops. But I don't like what I've seen from his channel, the debauchery that comes from there. So my personal reasons go deeper than the Minister Farrakhan thing. You're right, Lady Hotep. Whole ass niggas can't wrap their head around that. And I'm not one to try to impress a whole ass nigga. So if a whole ass nigga want to unfollow me or not like me because I'm not going to go in on Lord Jamar, then unfollow me. Oh, I don't give a fuck. You're right, Willie Mays. There's too many sensitive dudes. That's one of my major issues with this whole Drake LeBron generation. You can't talk basketball without some weird ass nigga saying you hating. You can't say anything about getting all emotional like Drake. I'm not here to appease those kind of dudes. You kind of cornballs have enough entertainment. It's enough people out here, enough YouTube shows to please cornball ass niggas that get emotionally wrapped up in two other grown ass men. This ain't the channel for that. FBA from Twitter, I got a comment saying I only fuck with Vlad, all the strength of Lord Jamar until the fuckery became too blatant. I'm with you, FBA triplet. Lord Jamar is the reason why I started watching Vlad. I didn't watch Vlad before. Like, Lord Jamar interviews is what got me into watching VladTV. It really did. And I think Lord Jamar is one of the best interviewees you can find. Yeah, Stan Culture made a lot of niggas soft. I'm not one to appease weak niggas. Like, when I say weak niggas, I mean niggas who are men. Let me reword that. Let me reword that. I'm not here to appease men who are emotionally dependent on celebrities. That's not what this channel is. Nothing. This channel fights vehemently against men and women and people who have emotional needs from celebrity. I'm never going to say things that people who are emotionally needy from celebrity are going to like. I can disagree with people. Hell, I'm Facebook friends with my man, Native Jess Smith. I've seen this dude, and I respect this dude, a lot of his music opinions. I've seen stuff that this dude has written on his Facebook page where I was kind of like, yeah, nah, that ain't it. for me. But at the end of the day, this is a grown ass man right here with his own motherfucking opinion. I'm a grown man with my opinion. I ain't gotta agree with every nigga out there. I didn't go delete this nigga from my Facebook and say that, oh man, that nigga weird. He tripping. I'm like, oh, that's his opinion on that? Oh, okay. I didn't go comment on his page and say, no, you're wrong. This is why I'm right. No, he a grown fucking man. Out of all that's being said, we got a nigga named Patrick that said, you're just scared of the white man. No. What the fuck this got to do with being scared of a white person? I call niggas like you a bitch for having emotional connection to celebrities that you don't know. Again, I'm still not watching Vlad. I'm cool on Vlad. And I'm the kind of person that I allow people to change their minds and opinions. I for sure do change my mind and opinion on things. I changed my mind. I will hope some of y'all change your mind too. I have certain opinions and feelings on people that if me and these people had a conversation and I like the way that conversation turned out, I changed my mind on them too. I have a few people who I don't really fuck with, but that's because we need to have a for real conversation. And if we've had that for real conversation, I am most definitely willing to change my mind. And I can tell you right now, Friday, June 20th, 1:49 p.m., if I have conversations or if I get a different point of view on certain people, certain things, yes, I will change my opinion because I'm a grown-ass fucking man and that's my fucking right. The same way as your right. You gotta grow the fuck up. Now, and I noticed like also the fallout over particular stuff. Like I used to be on a particular show, and a lot of you, I'm not gonna mention the name of the show, but a lot of you guys, well, y'all know the show I used to be on, Craig Facts. I'm not about to, it ain't no secret. I used to be on Craig Facts. And there was a lot of fallout over that show. And there are certain people from that show that I'll never do anything with again. Never. That's because I did talk to them about certain things. And I saw how they moved after we talked. And I saw some conversations I had with certain people on that show that it was like, oh, that's how you feel. That's what it is. Oh, no, nigga, you weird. I'll never do certain things with people from that show. There were people from that show that I will work with again. It was a lot of things that happened on that show behind the scenes. A lot. And when I turn on my computer, I gotta see comments sometimes of people like, man, Dwan, you and such a link back up. No, not. Never. And nor will I come around on the internet and explain why. And there are other people from that show was like, no, all we need is a conversation. All we need is a conversation. There are certain people like, okay, if we just had a conversation, I'd be more than willing to go back and work with them. But that's between me and these people. And there's other people on that show, they ain't never working together again. There's some people on that show, them niggas ain't ever working again together. You dig? I want y'all to see this picture. Like I told you, I was with Vlad this past. I wasn't with Vlad. Hell no, I wasn't with no goddamn Vlad. VladTV was right across the street from us, I had a box at the Hollywood Bowl. Let me show y'all this picture. Come on now. Let me see here. Let me show you this picture. I got a super chat from Carrie Westbrook says, Dwayne, will you continue to buy R. Kelly, Smokey Robinson? I never bought R. Kelly. I saw what the fuck he was into day one. Smokey Robinson didn't do anything wrong. Smokey Robinson is accused in the money grab. He didn't do anything wrong. You can't conflate Smokey Robinson, who didn't do anything wrong, with R. Kelly, who's in jail. Two different things. And I never bought Tyler, and I never watched Tyler Perry films. See, there's a lot, and I appreciate the super chat, but a lot of people are slow. They got, and I ain't talking about the person that wrote this message. A lot of people got to wait till it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon to realize it's daytime. If you saw age ain't nothing but a number between with R. Kelly and Aaliyah, you knew back then he was fucking underage girls. So I don't buy a lot of that fake R. Kelly outrage. When age ain't nothing but a number dropped, and what was that, 95, 96, 94, somewhere around there? You knew then he was fucking with underage girls. People still bought his shit. So 90% of that R. Kelly boycott is cap. Although I was never a big R. Kelly fan. I saw the shit and was like, nah, fuck that nigga. And please do not group Smokey Robinson in that. Out of respect for Smokey. Look, this is like y'all know this face. Those of you used to watch Craig Facts, y'all know this face. This fool Brandon, he took this shit to piss me off. He took a picture with DJ Vlad. Because I told you Vlad was sitting right in front of us. That's my guy, Brandon. That's my guy right there. And I think that he was he's definitely a contrary to what some of the shit that you've heard. He's an extremely honorable person, Brandon. But Lady Hotep is nothing to be guilty about. It's okay that you love R. Kelly's music knowing what he did. Because I guarantee you the people running the record labels, that all the music that we love, the people running them record labels are 10 times worse than any artist. Artists ain't got shit on the people cutting the checks. Artists ain't got a motherfucking thing on the people who decide what's a hit and what's not. So if you're one of the people who want to still listen to R. Kelly, that's cool too. Make sure I hit the like button and share. Make sure I hit the like button and share. And in 3 hours at 5 hours at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, I'm going to do, I may push it back to 6. So don't hold me to either 5 o'clock or